Brian Wilson, Texas Lawhawk! Brian Wilson, the Texas Lawhawk! Talons of justice! Due process! Do wheelies! It's hot out here! Brian Wilson! El Halcon de la Ley! Brian Wilson! The Texas Lawhawk!
Later, guys.
Bye.
Well. It's no refusal weekend, so you have to blow. Otherwise, you're gonna lose your license. These things are 100% accurate. Blowing it. Surprise, failed. Blow.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Someone just called me. That's why you don't blow. Brian Wilson, the Texas Lawhawk.
If you or a loved one been arrested, so call Brian Wilson, the Texas Lawhawk today.
Hello and welcome to this spontaneous, semi-spontaneous bonus stream. Wrong day, wrong time. Gaming lawyer. You can count on me for consistency. Hello, Steven, first commenter. Well-known history of mastering the first comment. AA Gaming. Ethan Girdler. Jesus. G. Dark Litton. Welcome. What is going on? Well, here's the thing. And this is... I don't know how long this stream's gonna be because I'll probably stop streaming when my wife gets home. But, coming out of the holidays, this happens every year a little bit. Coming out of the holidays, I have workflow interruptions. And so I'm currently in the middle of a workflow interruption, which means around the holidays, a lot of the offices that we get our work from, they close down for vacation. Also, not a lot of court dates to spur things on right around the holidays. So, at the moment, we're kind of like in the reset period, and I have yet to receive work to do in 2018, which is, you know, more vacation's cool, but at the same time, holy shit, you know, I gotta pay rent. But anyway, then I figured, well, if I'm not working, and I might as well stream, so that's why I'm here. And it's been like a hell of a long time since I played some Skyrim. And I've mentioned that I've been eyeballing Skyrim, and I've been getting an itch to play Skyrim. So I'm gonna stream some Skyrim. Is it so unbelievable? I don't know. How's everybody doing? Happy New Year's, everyone. I don't think, I haven't streamed since last year. Oh my gosh, it's been... Man, way back 2017, last time we streamed here. Seems like it's been forever. But, hope everybody's New Year was good. Ours was very low-key. What was it? Sort of the defining aspect of my New Year's weekend was just sleeping weird hours. But, you know, sometimes that's okay. One day I slept a lot, I didn't sleep enough. The next day I slept too much, stayed up too late one night, etc., etc. Good times, though. Eric, thank you. Happy New Year to you. You're going to be trapped in your house. You hear the East Coast is going to be hit by a what? A bomb cyclone? What the hell is that? No, I haven't heard that, AA Gaming. Doing fantastic, Dark Lit. I'm happy to hear that. And happy late New Year. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, what was, I think I almost streamed around New Year's, because one night my wife went to sleep kind of early, but, it didn't happen. We were just goofing off. We played some World of Warcraft, goofed around, watched Netflix. Yesterday I got mildly obsessed with, I don't know how many people were in CPG stream, but I don't usually pay attention to the drama and stuff going on YouTube, but people brought up that, what is it, that ex-Vine user that went into the Japan's haunted forest thing and stirred up some controversy with a video he made. it's like whatever that. I'm not gonna. It's morbid, but anyway, I never heard of that forest before. So I spent like a few hours yesterday just watching videos. It's called like the Suicide Forest or something. It's like the highest. It's like the second most popular place that people go to kill themselves, which is really disturbing. But that's like that's fascinating. I watched all these videos of people going in there and finding like old campsites and shit in the middle of nowhere. It's crazy shit. But anyways, is the music too loud? Okay, hold on a sec. I always have a bit of a balance issue. Let me know if that made it better. That's one reason streaming Skyrim's a little rough for me, because on my system, whenever I switch to Skyrim, the volume in Skyrim, the game itself, is really low compared to everything else. Like, I can't make it go higher. So what I have to do instead is try to turn down the volume on everything else on my system, and then turn up I'd use a special filter to artificially boost my general desktop audio, which means I've got to try to turn everything else down so it doesn't blast your damn ears. Really bad ice storm. Shit, I'm sorry to hear. I'll keep an eye on that, Double A Gaming, and I'll be hoping for your safety. Holy crap. How's that? Is the music good now? I've been screwing around with settings too today. Let me see. I updated my donation notifiers. I kept joking around that, well, half joking, that I think pipecock is too scary for some people. Like they don't. It's disturbing to them. So now I have like a specific amount. You have to donate exactly $6.99 to get pipecock. Otherwise, it's Will Ferrell playing the cowbell in Don't Fear the Reaper. But then I was having some problems with it. Let me see if I can get where I can test that stuff. Not gonna stress it. Screen. Yes. Sound is good now? Alright, cool. But now is the music too low? You have to hear the epic music because it's Skyrim. Oh shit, my timers. I've only got 4 minutes to screw around. Oh, my bird. That's another thing that's new today. Is a lot of times I let my bird out during the day, and I got my bird out right now. So, and her name is Chauncey. Let me see. She's, I took that picture right before my stream started. I keep a perch right above, that's the wall aside my desk. But she will be flying onto me and probably trying to climb on my microphone and do other mischievous things. Mischievous. That's why I say mischievous. And she just flew down and landed on my head. Now she's walking on my leg and attacking one of my cords. That's no good. But she's at the moment she's my co-host. If she gets too rambunctious, she'll co-host from the cage where she can't get into mischief. Yep. Here. If you would just calmly sit on my shoulder, that would be awesome. You're trying to work on your superhero campaign right now. What do you mean, superhero? I'm confused, because I feel like maybe this is something you mentioned to me before that I don't know. When you say superhero campaign, it makes me think of a tabletop RPG in which you are the game master and you are creating a story for other people to play. Alright, bird. I'm getting ran. Okay, let's go back up on the perch. See that perch she's on in that picture? That was a special $8 perch that I got just so I could have her own place near my desk for her to hang out, to be near me, but not necessarily on me when she's feeling distracted. Oh, that's exactly what it is, AA Gaming? Cool. Yeah, I still get the itch to do that sort of thing. Let me see. Okay, but this is what it's supposed to look like now for donations. Wow, that was really loud. Was that super loud? I haven't adjusted volumes. I see. So now I'm doing all this like boring technical stuff, but that's what the beginning of the stream is for. So streams, some people don't even talk for the first like 5 minutes of their stream. So bonus. All right, I'm gonna turn down my alerts volume a little bit in the background here. Shit, everybody left too. It says only one person watching. Well, okay, I'm sticking to my 10-minute timer though. Once it hits settings. Nolan Wolf! Somebody called you. I can't wolf right now. Welcome, Nolan. If I recall correctly, you discovered my channel in the middle of my Skyrim. While I was, because for several months, all I streamed, period, was Skyrim. Okay, well, you know what happens too is, I think, as a, like for viewer count, and I'm guilty of this, I mean, pretty much all the time when I'm watching streams, I'm on another window doing other stuff, and I think sometimes the counter thinks you're not watching if you go on another window, which that doesn't bother me. If YouTube doesn't know you're there and you're still there, that's still cool. I'm just glad you're here. All right. This. I'm gonna do volume check. I know my timer is done now. I'm gonna do a volume check. So wait, so is that because Skyrim? I've got to turn everything else down because then I have a filter that artificially boosts my desktop volume for the stream so that Skyrim can be heard. The Skyrim's inherent volume is super low on it. I don't know if it's just on my system or what, but it is super low. So everything else, I have to boost that and then lower the volume on everything else so that it's not overloaded. That wasn't Pipecock. Now here's the thing. Now let me see. Also, I was having trouble when I was screwing around with the Streamlabs donation. It suddenly decided, like, it's still doing this. Okay, which sucks, because I don't know why, the settings are all completely the same, but all of a sudden, with the Streamlabs version of donations, it decided now it's gonna fuck up. So, when it shows the thing, the text is all screwed up, so the text is, like, all huge. I don't know what the deal is, I'm not sure how to fix it. Hopefully it'll reset itself at some point. But anyways, so yeah, so this is... Now it's still the actual Pipecock sound effect going in the background. I'm being very clever. I'm being very clever with this. Hey Maxie, Skyrim! But if you donate $6.99, then you activate, you summon the Pipecock. So you have to really want it. So again, for some reason the text shit, and maybe that's just in a tester, I don't know, but the text shit's kind of screwed up. This is super chat, should be normal. Let's see. Pipecock summon. Oh shit, you're right. Okay. I forgot that those have their own separate volume sliders that I have to adjust. Crap. See, that's why... I think that's also a reason why once I started playing Skyrim before, that's all I played for 6 months, because I had to tweak like a ton of different things, volume settings, in order to compensate for volumes inherently low. Skyrim's inherently low volume. Let me see. Yeah, because as soon as you said that, I looked over and I saw that, in fact... Alright, Bird. Bird's come over. Bird's back on my shoulder. Just remember, don't get rambunctious and chew on cords. Don't try and go on my controller or my keyboard and poop on it. That's what she loves doing. That's why a lot of times when I'm doing work stuff, Bird ends up in a cage, huh? Because Bird just decides it's time to get into everything, huh? Alright, let's see. So now... That's still super loud. Shit. Okay. Let's try it now. Okay, that's better. That's under control. And let me get back to the alternates on... Because here's the thing, too. They have whole different settings, whole different things you gotta set separately for all... each variation in Super Chat and each variation in Streamlab Chat. Moving everything down. Oh, Ava! Good morning! Hugs and kisses! Happy New Year! The donation is louder than me. I should be adjusting this all now. And then when next time I stream anything that is not Skyrim, I'm gonna have to go back and switch all this stuff back. Alright, save this, save settings. Alright. I've gone over my 10 minutes, but you know, I got middle of the week technical difficulties to deal with. And I've got a bird distracting me. Hopefully the bird does not make my stream go bad because she's causing too much mischief. She's on my knee right now. She's getting all fluffy and looking super relaxed, so that's a good sign. Alright, so regular donation's gonna look like this. Is that still loud? I can still turn that down if it's too loud. And then $6.99 donations look like this. Oh shit! Okay, now my mic's quiet. All right, here's the thing, and this is exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to balance all audio in order to make up for Skyrim's inherently quiet volume. So I'm trying to turn everything else up, but I don't know how up to do it without it being overwhelming. Was that still too loud? Because it's a balancing act. I'm manually making everything louder or quieter to compensate. Or it's hard to explain, but basically Skyrim's inherent volume on my system is very low. So what I have to do is boost desktop, like use an amplifier on my desktop audio, which makes everything super loud to compensate for Skyrim, and then I've got to turn everything else individually down to even out with Skyrim, and then I'm not sure where I fixed the... Okay. Well, I can... The thing is, this is the same mic volume that I always use. The difference is everything else in my OBS is off balance because of the screwing around I'm doing. So, let's see. I'm going to turn that down a tad. And I'm going to turn that down a tad. Okay. Let me know if I'm more in balance with the background music now. This is still like a big old... Man, I'm gonna end up spending like 20 minutes just tweaking settings because of Skyrim's odd volume issue. Avery, a G-Law stream in the middle of the day. Dogs and cats being best friends. Yeah, it's... I don't have any work yet this year. We're still... Like, all the offices that I get my work from closed down for the holidays, and I think technically they all opened up. You know, they're all back from vacation yesterday, but it takes a while for that to translate into workflow, the trickle down workflow, because they get their engines running. And so what it turned out to is like, it happens every year, almost every year. At the end of December and the beginning of January, I end up with no work or very little work, which is very stressful. Considering that December we spend 3 times as much money as we normally do in a month. So there's that, and we have savings and stuff, so we're burning through them, but we got enough. We don't have to worry about like putting food on the table and stuff. But it's just like we're so happy. It's like, oh look, we finally this year we had this buffer of savings. And then also with my dad getting sick, we've been spending an awful lot on rental cars and shit too, because we got rid of our cars a long time ago. So anyways, yeah, it's been totally stressful, but I don't need to bring all that up for why I'm streaming today. The basic reason I'm streaming today is because I still don't have work. So I don't have, like, normal stuff that keeps me busy during the day isn't happening right now. So I thought, what the hell? I'll stream. Why not? So, oh, Dylan. Where's Dylan? Wait. Where it says happy birthday? Bob Dylan. Oh, your youngest boy Dylan. I think you said your son, Bob Dylan. It's his 9th birthday. Holy shit. Ava, I didn't notice that right away. Hold on. You will get a birthday song, Dylan. Don't you worry. Let me catch up with chat for 1 second, because I got on like a sidetrack spree talking about my work stress. I'm happy to see Mine69. I haven't seen you, well, you've been around. No, I was gonna say I haven't seen you in a long time, but you pop in. You do actually pop in at least every couple weeks and say hi. I think it was last week, didn't I see you? Anyways, so you're around about as much as I am. If the game gets louder than the intro music, it'll drown you out. But if it stays loud, you'll be okay. Well, all this over sound boosting is because game volume is inherently low. So that's why my sound is all screwed up, because I'm trying to make up for it. So when we get into the game, let me know if that's off balance. And then I can tweak that. Let's see. Talents, if this is such a complete change of schedule that I don't like change, it just seems really weird. The King Lawyer streaming on a day just Dark Jake 13. Happy New Year, sir. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, did you just hear my whole explanation? I think you might have come in, because I said it a couple times. My whole explanation is basically that. Long story short, I'm having my beginning of year work shortage right now, so I decided to stream. So it's probably not going to be a regular thing streaming during the day. And then also, when my wife gets home, I probably have to stop. Should be getting home in about, I don't know, 2 hours or less. I might stop when she gets home, because here's the simple fact is, if I'm not working and she gets up at like 4:30 in the morning to work, and she comes home and it's like, oh, what are you doing? And it looks like I'm just screwing around. She gets a little irritated. So, but it's like, I already, like, yesterday, I didn't have work yesterday. So yesterday I like totally cleaned the apartment. I went like all over all this stuff that I knew she'd be all like, oh, super happy about. Because things get messy. We do, with all the travel and shit over the holidays and presents and packing and unpacking all the time, going out of town. Our place gets cluttered. So yesterday, that was my accomplishment. Instead of doing work, I cleaned the apartment. And today, I can't do it again because it's already clean. So, anyways. Matus, is it daytime streaming here? Stupid mobile internet? No, you didn't miss it. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with chat. Because people keep coming in and being utterly shocked that I'm streaming right now. Okay. But it's good that I didn't jump into it and I had to catch up with chat because... Oh, hey. Locked Beast Lucas, hello. Okay, I'm missing everything right now. Okay. Okay, no more dropping in and out. Yeah, I don't know if you read my comments or not. Yeah, I've read your comments, Ava. I've read all of them. Well, at the point where I saw there was a birthday song request, I said, he will absolutely get a birthday song. But then I realized I didn't say hi to about 5 other people. I didn't acknowledge about 5 other people. So I did that first. Okay, let's see. Do I have a, let me get this in here. Yes. Somewheres. The Eclipse. There it is. Okay. I'm going to add... See, I haven't used my Skyrim setup for a long time either. I have whole scene collections for every game that I play. And so, now there's shit I need to... Whoa! Okay, turn it down. That's wrong. Well, anyways. That's where we don't need that going right now either. Okay. We're gonna add the birthday song to my Lawyer Plays Live screening thingy. Yeah, that's what I get. It's amazing just for me, and this is one reason why I haven't, occasionally when I want to stream Skyrim, I haven't, because it takes so much. I haven't updated the scene collection in over 6 months, and it takes so much tweaking to make everything work that it's one of the reasons when I start, every time I think, maybe I'll stream Skyrim, I said there's going to be so much adjustment and troubleshooting to because I don't have it's not updated, I don't have a routine for it. Let me see. Wait, no, this is going to be birthday. Birthday. Watch it, bird. I'm starting to think having the bird out was a bad idea. Just in the way. Karaoke. We're going to sing happy birthday for Dylan, Ava's son. But first, I've got to find my birthday song. Oops. Alright. This is not the real thing yet. That even? Okay. That is playing for you, but not for me. And audio properties. Okay. I like it about like this, and then put it in here. This is how the sausage gets made. Okay. So this is all the crap that you're not supposed to see. This is supposed to be all stuff that I've done off stream. But I'm gonna do a birthday song on stream. This is how we're gonna work it. Alright, Ava, you there? And is Kyle there? Because I am officially prepared to sing happy birthday, but if you're in one of those moments where your internet's dropped out, I'm gonna hold off until I get confirmation. Let me see. Make sure you have a sink full of dirty dishes ready for your wife when she gets... No, I'm gonna make sure it's clean when she gets home, but the thing is, there's not enough... Because yesterday there was enough stuff to clean up that it's sort of like, I had to pick at it all day. Okay, there it is. Avery donated. Now that says only $1 show, but that could be $100 because my Streamlab donation thing decided today to take a crap on me. So the font's all messed up, but Avery, it was a $1 Happy New Year donation. Thank you, Avery, so much for the donation. That is very much appreciated. Okay, Ava is here. That's right, Jacob. We'll do it live. Fa la 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 la. Okay. I don't know what the F stands for, but it's Dylan. This for you, buddy. It's birthday time. It's somebody's 9th birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dylan. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dylan. Happy birthday to you. Oh yeah. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Happy birthday, dear Dylan. Happy birthday to you. You came to my stream, and I heard it was your birthday today, 9th to be precise. And then after a bunch of technical difficulties, I made a birthday song just for you. There you go. It was both a traditional happy birthday song and it was custom tailored to the circumstances of today. He's smiling his head off and all embarrassed. Well, everybody, I see Maxie gave us a whole bunch of cakes and candles, and I'm trying to get a closer look at what's the other stuff in there? Like a strawberry cheesecake? I don't know, but it looks delicious. Whatever it is, thank you, Maxie. So why not send me $1? You're a favorite streamer too? I appreciate that, Avery. You donate 100 bits to most of your favorite Twitch streamers for New Year's. That's very cool. And I'm sure they appreciate it. I know I definitely appreciate it, for sure. It's way too early for a GLOS stream, that's right, or Chaos. That's right. Perfect time to join. Welcome, Coop Cake. Welcome back. So Dylan, happy birthday to you. I hope the song was everything you hoped it would be, and that I didn't embarrass you too much. If you have to go, like, your face is red and you have to go hide under a blanket for an hour, I'll understand. But I hope you still managed to have a good birthday despite the weird guy on the internet singing songs to you, which, you know, under other circumstances would be kind of creepy. But we're all friends here. Allie, cause at work, but Happy New Year to you, Allie. At work. Happy to see you. And, yeah, I got my bird with me today, at least for now. We'll see how long that lasts, because she's, come on, she's on my knee right now. And, like, because I've been holding the same position for too long, now my foot's falling asleep. And she's extremely settled into my knee. She was, like, pruning herself and stuff. And I'm, like, taking my hand to get her off, and she's all pissed at me. Here, that's why you should go an $8 perch. It's a special, it's a fancy perch. We spent $8 on. Get up on $8. That's the perch she's on in the picture, is $8 perch. And I always call it $8 perch because then that way, hopefully, they'll help her understand how special the perch is. Because most little cheap perches you get for a couple bucks. But that's $8 perch, you know? The bird's name was originally Sophia. When I got her from a neighbor when she was about here. Okay, she didn't want to be on $8 perch. She just flew back onto my head. $8 perch is about 2 feet above my head. All right, but behave yourself and don't chew cords. That's all. Don't be weird. Her given name was Sophia, but for some reason I just, as soon as we got her, I started calling her Chauncey, which is, I think, a guy's name. So I don't even know where it came from, but I started calling her Chauncey so much that now I just call her Chauncey. Except the guy that gave her to us lives in the building, and when I still see the guy that gave her to us, and he'll ask, how's Sophia doing? And so I will still say, I still refer to her as Sophia when I see her original owner. But the rest of the time, yeah. So even just asking a simple question like, what's your bird's name, leads into this really awkward and overextended story. So, yeah, the bird, it's the $8 perch. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a longer story behind the perch, but the general idea is it's a little it's a screw-in perch that you can, like, screw into a wall or screw in anywhere, like on the side of the cage. And so the general purpose is if there was a place that bird wanted to hang out that maybe she wasn't supposed to, or for the last couple of years, it's just been when she wants to hang out near me when I'm at my desk, but I don't necessarily want her crawling over me, or she'll try to crawl on my keyboard or all sorts of other stuff. I'll put her up there so she can still be hanging out next to me without being all over my stuff. So, and sometimes I put her up there and she loves it. She'll stay up there and fall asleep, and she'll stay up there for like an hour or two, just totally happy as a clam, because all she really wants is, because the cage is in the other room, and she can see me because it's sort of open between this room and the office and the living room area, but it's sort of a separate room, and she can see me from her cage, but she knows she's like separated from me because she's in a cage. So if I let her out of the cage, she will always end up flying over here. So, Fuss Roka, that's right, Darklid. Go birthday money spending. Have a great day, everyone. All right. Wait, go birthday money spending. You have to go birthday money spending. Is that what you're saying? All right, Ava. Well, Happy New Year. Happy birthday again to Kyle. I'm glad I could help make his birthday both fun and terrifying. And speaking of Skyrim, I've been streaming for 34 minutes now and I haven't played it. So, hello, Ethan. Welcome, buddy. How you doing?
45 seconds of gameplay.
All right. So now we're gonna see what game volume is like. Okay. Before I dive too much into this, Oh, I'm sorry, Dylan. I don't know why I kept saying Kyle. It was Dylan. Sorry, Kyle. I mean Dylan.
Will there ever come a time?
And here's the thing too, is I even was confused earlier with the whole Bob Dylan thing. And you said Boy Dylan, and in the corner of my eye, I thought it said Bob Dylan.
You must be my little.
You're like my boy Dylan, and that should have totally helped make me remember. Homesick. Oh, I'm sorry, Ethan. It's similar to why I'm streaming today. I'm not homesick, but I work at home. But I'm home, and work has not come yet since the there's a slowdown around Christmas. And a lot of the offices the workflow that we get comes from offices that close like for a week or two around the holidays. Sometimes because it's work comp stuff, and with stuff we do actually comes from the doctors who are appointed in work comp cases. And a lot of times right around the holidays, some of them will disappear for a month. They'll take long vacations and stuff. So anyways, the work for a couple weeks, work almost slows down to nothing. And right now we're in one of those things where the new year, officially people went back to work yesterday, but that has not resulted in workflow yet for me. So, yeah, this is, wait, what the hell is this guy's name? I forget how to find out what his name was. Skills. Oh, Garriman. Because it was Gaiman Lawyer, but then I was like, how do I change Gaiman into something that sounds fantasy? So he's Garriman, the Wood Elf, level 29. One thing that is worth pointing out is, this was something that's another reason why I kept thinking when I wanted to stream Skyrim after I hadn't played it for several months, why I kept putting it off, because he is infected with vampirism, and I have a mod called Better Vampires, which changes all the vampire dynamics, but I've never played as a vampire before, and so we're going to either cure him of his vampirism before he changes, or we're going to let him become a vampire. And so it's not going to be I like to a lot of times play games where I don't have to think too much about what I'm doing when I'm streaming in particular, and there's a chance as a vampire, I'm going to have to be learning something as I'm playing, which is pretty crazy. 45 seconds of gameplay, that's right.
45 seconds of gameplay.
You played as a vampire lord. You were the vampire menace of Whiterun. Now, this is not the kind of vampire that you become in... What the hell? There's the expansion where you can become a vampire lord. This is not becoming like the storyline vampire lord. This is just from the typical... You run into a vampire somewhere in the world and you get bit and you get the infection and you just don't cure it in 3 days and you become a vampire. Why not keep him as a vampire? Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna let him... Now, he's not a vampire yet. He just has... it says progress to vampirism. So he has the virus that's going to make him become a vampire. And I'm not even sure how far along he is in that virus. But, let me see. You sold stuff to the blacksmith inside town and then drank blood every time. I don't even know how the blood drinking works now that I think about it.
Still here.
There's probably...
What's the matter?
I might even need to
Can't
look up the
handle
mod to see
your way?
what button I need to push just to drink someone's damn blood. Or if I have special abilities. Once I transition. But I think for now, I'm gonna just let him become a vampire. Sort of, let the virus take its course, because I've never played a vampire before, and that could be interesting.
So many contracts.
And if it really turns out to be a horrible nightmare, you know what? Hold on a sec. There's too much junk on my screen. I don't like all that stuff up there. I forgot I still had that. With all the new subs, sponsors, total sub. I don't like having all that stuff up there during gameplay. I had that up for a while when I first got sponsor and I first got all that stuff, but then it was sort of like a celebratory thing. It was like, hey, look, I got all this stuff happening now. I think I'll keep the total subs up there and that's it. How's that? But I don't want like my my stream to be sort of a walking advertisement for like channel and revenue growth. Yeah. Sure, I'll have the vampire virus for a while. I think it's 3 days. That's how long it takes. And I don't remember how long he's had it at this point, because I haven't played this game in 6 months. In fact, I think it was last week someone brought up the bone meal at the end of the stream tradition, and I tried logging into the game, and I couldn't even access this file the way that I thought I should be able to. I thought the mods were broken. And the most recent thing that I could access was like back when he was level 17 or something, and he was still doing a Thieves Guild quest. But all right, so let's see what we're. I don't know what we're doing right now. I have a first major contract. I'm doing. I know I was in the middle of doing the Assassin's Guild quests. Trying to okay. The Hags Cure and Markard. Retrieve Mayrune's razor from their current owners. No. Are these parts of okay. Oh, I don't. Why am I even tracking that? Stones of Berenzieth? Oh, that's just if I find them, I find them. I've met Moloch Ball. Born depressed. Now that I have arrived, you must do something for me. I'm under no obligation. Born depressed, but you may request that I do something for you. Remember, I'm a lawyer. I take language very seriously, especially in terms of when someone says that I must do something. Absent some sort of contractual obligation, I'm afraid no such thing is true. Open your map, pick a random city, and choose a town nearby. Hold on. I've also changed my, I've changed some of my key bindings. Okay, the nearest city is Falkreath. Yeah? Oh, I got blade shards happening right in there. Okay, then maybe that's what I was doing. Blade? I don't want to do that right now. Nope. Remove it. Forgot how to even navigate the damn map. Okay, so there's... want to do that. Alright, so I think this is probably what we're going to do next quest-wise. The shards of Maroon's razor. Well, I chose a nearby city, but if I find out what it is you have in mind and it's something I don't want to do, I won't do it. So, but for now, Falkreath is what I've chosen because it's the only, really the only city nearby. What's up, horrors? Oh. Diplomatic immunity. I have to meet someone in solitude? Oh, right, there was that I haven't even been doing the main quest, but that's the main quest. Deal 500. Oh, hey, don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Morning never comes. Okay, so that's the official Assassin's quest. I did want to activate that on my map. And now that is activated up here. Okay, good deal. Born depressed. That was that was the point at which your simple 4-step instructions so far, step number 4 has resulted in a no-go. Put it in the. That's a big negative. That's what I used to say to my bird when Bird was getting a little bit too rambunctious about wanting to do something that I didn't want it to do. Because that's big negative 10-4, buddy. That's what we call that around our house. When someone wants to do something that's a no-go. That's big negative 10-4, buddy. You wuss. No? Because also, and I've said this several times over the course of, like, me playing Skyrim. Brother. And while I'm not a hardcore RPer where I'm like, Alright, everyone, now I'm playing the game and let me see. This is, my guy sounds like this. And so now whenever I'm streaming, I have to talk like this. And I'll only talk in character. And I don't know what a computer is. And I'm not sure what a live stream is because I'm RPing right now. You know, it's like with some horrible accent. I'm not that level of RP, but I'm also not, hey go, like I'm doing in the middle of a quest for like from a mayor or something. And someone in chat's like, kill the mayor, see if you can, and go do teabag the, go to the priest's house and teabag the priest and kill him and steal his shit. It's like, I'm not the guy that's gonna, oh shit, what's it? I don't even know, why am I getting this? I'm gonna get, why is this suddenly available to me? Leech marked for death. I don't even know what,
Come now.
let me see. Magic. Where are my shouts anyways? Okay. Your bonus armor and life force are weakened. I don't even know which thing I have active right now. Unrelenting force. That one. Whirlwind sprint. Do I have all those in here?
It can't possibly be true.
Let me test this out. Oh, okay. I think normally what I have is my horse whistle. Oops.
Now a child could have accomplished it. Such is the power of the arcade.
You wuss.
If you only knew the spells I didn't use.
Some of the NPCs in Falkreath are essential. Well, see, there you go. It's not even a practical possibility, Born Depressed. Line cross. G-Law tends to avoid things with such dire legal ramifications in Skyrim. Well, it's even, like, when I'm playing American Truck Simulator, I will frequently get people that come in and be like, drive the truck off the road. Like, the one guy, who was it? It's a regular guy who came in here, but he kept asking me to, like, try to, when I was playing American Truck Simulator, he wanted me to try to make the truck drift. And I'm like, thinking, even if such a thing were possible, which I don't think it is, if I got the correct configuration of physics on that truck happening in order for it to drift, like, I mean, the cargo would be like flying off, spinning all over. I'd probably lose my trailer. And I'm like, you know, I'm a trucker. I got a job to do. I'm not here to drive off of bridges and shit, you know? It makes your shtick seem a bit ridiculous. I don't know what it was. See, I do watch a guy that doesn't break character. My favorite thing to do is try and make him laugh by using horrible jokes. You've almost managed it 3 times. It sounds like it's kind of like the, like, what is it, the guards in London? The royal guards that, with the big tall fuzzy hats that aren't supposed to acknowledge anyone? Cicero. Let me see.
Miss Cicero can talk for a moment. Just a moment. Then Mother must be tended to.
Okay, so you might be noticing now that volume in-game is kind of low compared to a lot of other stuff. But I've got it artificially boosted in OBS, so I can't tell how loud that is for you. But, okay, Bird. Time to move. I just realized my foot's falling asleep. See, this is what happens. She gets settled in, and then my foot falls asleep. Like, she likes being on my knee, and then I'll move, and she'll get on my other knee. But then when I have to wake her up to get her off my knee, she gets pissed off. It's okay, Bird. Okay, so, like, when Cicero is talking and stuff, you can hear that okay? Let me actually turn my, headphones up.
Oh, what? Who is the Night Mother? Oh, you jest. You jest with gullible Cicero.
Okay. Hold on a sec. Let me get out. Because now I want to turn my own headphone, like, for my own listening pleasure. Because it's low compared to everything else.
Cicero can talk for a moment. Just a moment.
So everything
Then
else was
Mother
still
must be-
too loud then, huh? Because everything else, comparatively, like, back when I was... Oops. I was doing this stuff. Is this... Well, I guess everything I had it balanced alright. Anyways, I'm getting back in the game.
45 seconds of gameplay.
That's probably super loud. Yeah, a little bit. Alright. Hello, Too Good For You, and welcome. So, I think we're gonna just go about our business.
Cicero can talk for a moment.
Move on to the next
Just
quest.
A moment. Then Mother must be...
SKSE 64 Alpha is working great too. Hello, Knockout. The knowledge that SKSE 64 has released was one of the reasons also that I've been holding off on playing Skyrim, because I wanted to see if I could get that working before I streamed again. I ultimately decided I didn't want to, because if you look at the mod list that I have in my description, I have a shit ton of mods, many of which would ordinarily in vanilla have been reliant upon SKSE, but are not necessarily compliant with it now. And that's what I heard. The first thing I heard about SKSE is that it works just fine, but that a lot of the mods out there, at least at the time SKSE Alpha released, a lot of the mods that were out there would break when you tried using it because they weren't ready for it. So that's the one reason why I've been holding off on that. But Avery, is it working with?
Cicero can talk for a moment.
Is everything sort of caught up with it now, or is it still one of those things where half the mods break if you try installing SKSE 64? Let me see. All right. You can install it just fine, but whenever Skyrim updates, SK needs an update from time. Like every other month, they still are. I know they updated because they were starting to do that Creators Workshop paid mod thing, which, you know, whatever. That's new since the last time I played, but I'm not into it. But
Go.
At some point, I'll play around with that and screw around with that. And I just know that, okay, even with the mods that I have as they are right now, when I tried launching a new game with all those mods, it crashed the desktop. And so, because I also had like Start Another Life installed, and for some reason it made like a certain point, and this game still occasionally after a certain point started crashing. Where it had not frequently, but more than it did, because it wasn't crashing for the longest time, and then it would occasionally now probably still start crashing. And so the more mods you introduce, the more instability there is, and I'm worried that installing SKSE with the somewhat, because I have a lot of mods that are they're kind of big mods that make major changes into the game. So I pretty much wouldn't. I think I wouldn't want to try SKSE unless I was completely ready for to like break my save, and potentially start the campaign over. So that's what I'm concerned about. Is I'm gonna end up breaking my save somehow, and then I'm basically gonna have to start from scratch, which, you know, could eventually. I'm sure it'll happen. Some mods. Oh, you have some of them. I don't know what kids want subs when they don't even create content. Unless it was just a troll. But sometimes, you know, those kids, they got plans. They're like, if I get 100 subs, I'll make a video. And they think everyone's being like, oh shit, this kid I never heard of is gonna make a video. Holy crap. Let me tell all my friends. We'll sub up. Don't try till you're ready for a new game. Hey, Avery, okay, we're on the same page then, aren't we? I think we're on the same page. Oh, let me get my my horse whistle out. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to use my horse right now. Hey, look who it is.
What can I do for you?
Inigo.
I'm thinking you look ill.
I hope he doesn't freak out when I become a vampire.
Sweet rolls.
Thinking about sweet rolls. I don't really see them on my stuff anymore, but then again, find your blacklist really well.
Let us go.
Well, yeah, Dark Jake, you would have to though, because here's the thing: is you have a lot of your channel growth is built on Mario Maker, and you'd play a lot of other stuff, not just Mario Maker. But wait a minute, do I still have that? Let me see. Oh, okay. I have that clip-on lantern because it's dark out, you know. It's night time. But yeah, my streams. Now I do get kids in here sometimes, but my streams aren't like. It's not like all the 12-year-olds out there are like, oh shit, he's playing American Truck Simulator, or he's playing even Skyrim. You know, it attracts a diverse audience, young and old. But when you building on like Nintendo stuff, a lot of times, and again, Nintendo is for everybody. But like Mario Maker in particular, because I know you got a lot of channel growth out of that. Because it's popular and it's interactive, and kids know they got a chance for you to play their levels and stuff. Let's squat here. So you'll end up with a lot more kids, and then you got to regulate those kids, you know, because a lot of them, they want attention. That's where they're, look at me, give me a shout out, say my name, play my level, all that stuff, you know. So, and I get some kids regulars in here, like sometimes, you know, 12, 13, 14, but they're cool. They're not like that. They're not like, hey, look at me, look. And if they are, they tend not to stick around very long. So, because it's not, my stream is not amenable to that. You have a sinus infection? Oh, I'm sorry, Avery, that sucks. Let me see. Blacklist is about PG-13, but for the most part, it's mostly sub-grubbers, self-promoters, and memes. Oh, okay. You're guessing mods. Hey, Gun Kid. You just started your Skyrim Switch playthrough. That's one cool thing. I'm glad more people are able to access Skyrim now that weren't before. Oh, my sneak. I'm getting so sneaky. I know on the Switch, I don't think there is no mod support on the Switch, right? I'm playing on PC. You can look at my description and see like the 20 or 30 mods that I have active right now, including my companion.
Something on your mind?
Oh, what do you think?
No. Right now, my mind is a dried up riverbed.
All right. Oh shit! I didn't realize we were fighting. Hey, come here, buddy.
Yeah! I'll show you what a...
All right, Inigo, kill him. I didn't realize I was doing that. Hey. I forgot. I'm at that point in this game where I'm kind of unstoppable. Nice. Oh, that felt very satisfying. I have mods that make me have those badass animations happen more often too, which I always find gratifying. I enjoy those. All right. Powder. Guess I'll take the arrows and a gold and the elk hides. There's a lot of shit I don't want though. Take pelts. I don't know why I'm taking the meat. That's habitual from when I use survival or like food and hunger mods. Hides for crafting. I'll take that. And I have a mod that lets me carry a stupid amount of weight too. Let me see if it says here. Yeah, I can hold up to 35,000 pounds. So I just don't like my bag, and I do that because I don't want to worry about inventory management all the time when I'm streaming. In my own games, I'll play hardcore mode and all that stuff. But when I'm streaming, I don't want to be like, oh, we're in the middle of this dungeon, but now I can't carry anything else, so we're going to spend You know, I never get anything done as it is, just because I talk too much. You know? Can I see your armor, please? Yeah. Let me stand up. He's wearing the Nightingale. Let me get up against some light. He's got the Nightingale armor from completing the Thieves Guild quest. So that's again. They have all sorts of bonuses. The stamina, frost resistance. So this is silent. The boots make me more silent. The gloves make lock picking better, and my one-handed attack 20% stronger. Is that all the Nightingale stuff? There's the hood, but I think I'm wearing something else instead. Yeah, the Nightingale hood illusion spells cost 15% less to cast. No thanks. I don't use illusion. So, besides, I like seeing my beautiful. I think I have a mod hiding my helmet, anyways. But, let's see. You're trying to find a quill in the bottom of the lake, but now you're intrigued. Hey, Arius Owl. That sounds dangerous. Make sure you have good, proper breath holding exercises. You like Morrowind's story better than Skyrim? You have 50-inch Skyrim poster frame in your living room. Holy crap, awesome! I probably would, but depending on the poster, my wife might not be into it. I use Skyrim as my desktop, though. Else. Porker Tusk. The Breath of the Wild cooking. Yeah, I don't really use cooking. I mean, you can get a little buff by cooking, I think, in vanilla. Where I like in my own games, I really like playing the mods where you need to eat and sleep and stuff at certain intervals. I really enjoy that. I just feel like because of the way that I am when I stream, because I'm a little bit unfocused. That's one thing I'm worried about being a vampire. Is the whole thing. I'm not going to pay attention. I'm going to, like, starving to death. Or, like, routinely or dying or not keeping track of my food inventory. Alright, let's do some crouching now. I'm going to do a little sneaking now. Can you see my skills? Yeah, sure. As long as, let me see. Skills. Okay. Now, one thing I don't have in this playthrough that I'm going to... Next time I play, I'm going to... Is there's a mod called Ordinator, which completely revamps all the skills. And I haven't used it before, but it's supposed to make the game, the whole game balance a lot different. And all the skill trees are completely changed. But mostly, I've been investing in Sneak. I don't have any skills to spend right now, do I? I don't think so. I've been investing in Light Armor a little bit. Archery. So that's been... I'm skilling up in block a little bit, but I haven't been using it. But yeah, so you can see most of the main things when I get skill points that I'll put in right away is sneaking, light armor, and then one-handed. I haven't been investing in the skills further up the line because I don't think they are actually all that great. But I do make sure to do Armsman, which increases your base damage whenever I can. I have a mod list in the description of this video, Gun Kid, but not anywhere else. So I don't know if for some reason you're on a mobile device that can't access the video description. That's the only place that I've got it, is on my video description. You would get my smithing up, and I know that like all the crafting, smithing, enchanting, and all that sort of thing is... Now again, I'm not, when I play this game, I'm not super focused on min-maxing. So, like, for example, I know, like, people will say, oh, you need to go here and kill this thing that's on the other side of the map because they have the best weapon. And if you're using daggers, you need to go to such and such place because that's where the most powerful dagger in the game is. And if you want this, you have to get this skill so you can and use this device to triple your ability to do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, my gameplay style is somewhat unconcerned with like the whole maxing, doing everything I can to make to squeeze every last powerful bit. Because as you can see, I got into combat earlier, and I kind of just one-shot everybody anyways, you know? Oh, Inigo's going for it. Inigo can one-shot him too. Alright, Chance. Alright, bird. Foot's falling asleep. You know what, I think? I got my bird here. Hey, she's gonna be pissed off because she's totally into her grooming right now. Come here. You know what time it is? I think it's time for $8 perch. Go up. There you go. Yeah. I've got a co-host during this stream right now. It's my bird. For 4,000 screen transitions, your talents earned stop working, so you can use a scroll to reset them. That's all. Minor bug. 4,000 screen transitions. Your talent. I don't know what even that means, Avery. I mean, I know it makes sense, but screen transitions? Are you talking about like loading screens? After 4,000 loading screens, your talents don't work anymore? I don't know. I'm very confused now. Too good for you. You subbed to me. All right, buddy. It's awesome. Love it. Loving it. Like some quality stuff. You wish your computer could handle Skyrim area style? I'm sorry that it can't, but basically if you get any other gaming device at this point, they pretty much have made Skyrim available on almost all of it. But PC is the best. In my opinion, especially with mods, PC is the best. Hands down. Gotta go. Head to the store. You'll be back soon. Alright, Dark Jake. See you around, buddy. Happy New Year, man. So I have a camera on stream, but only for the bird. I have bird cam. That'd be $8 perch cam. Hello, Phoenix King. What's up, buddy? Now, I would do a bird cam just as a joke, but the only cam that I have is from about 2007. I had a channel back in like 2007, 2008, where I did vlogs. I never live stream. Is this guy a person? All right, there we go. Oh wait, I have a dagger that I should be using for backstabbing because I have that thing where I get times 15 damage if I backstab with a dagger. All right. You didn't understand and asked him what he meant too. Loading screens. Huh? Yeah, that sounds like what? But I mean, for the way people play this game, I'm sure a lot of people go through that many loading screens. Hold on, I do have some stream coffee here. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I think it's, let me see. I can't remember if it's under, I think it's under stealth. Under sneak. Assassin's Blade. Sneak attacks with daggers now do a total of 15 times normal damage. And deadly aim, sneak attacks with bows do 3 times normal damage. Now, if I use a sword, sneak attacks will do 6 times damage, which is still, you know, good. But 15 times is better than 6, you know? Mark Pearson. Yeah, I was talking about the new SKSE. You can probably see I'm using... They had the an outdated version of... What the hell is this called? Sky UI. Just because I like the sorting capabilities on the inventory. But yeah, I get this warning up here saying, oh, you don't have SKSE. We were talking about this a little before. If you look on the description of this video, I have a considerable number of mods, which at times, with requiring some tweaking, has left my stream somewhat unstable. And I am, at some point, I'm definitely going to start using SKSE, but I'm sort of waiting until I have a good sense, and I haven't researched it in a while either. That's another thing too. Sometimes I haven't played this in months. I haven't played this in 6 months. Sometimes I just want to play, But if I update to SKSE, I feel like I'm gonna have to do a lot of research to make sure all my mods are working. I'm probably gonna have to do some fiddling and tweaking. And bird, hold on, bird's getting out of control. Bird, you're not supposed to go up there. Nope, that's not for you. outside. Bird had to go into timeout because she's getting restless. She's getting explory, which is, you know, fine sometimes. But there's a lot of stuff. We don't clip her wings and we let her fly around at her will around the apartment. Which is, there's only a few places she normally likes to go anyways, and they are allowed places. They're familiar places to her. Like on top of a big bookshelf, we have, across the room from her cage, we have a little playground for her. We have treats and food up there, and she'll fly up there. In the kitchen, on top of some cupboards, we have these giant, like, life-size ceramic chickens that she, for some reason, likes hanging out with, so she flies over there. But there's certain things we don't want her on, and one of them is the 10-year anniversary. One of my 10-year anniversary gifts for my wife was, I think it was it metal or tin or something was the 10-year metal? So I got this tin clock that's kind of cool. And I don't want, she likes flying and landing on top of weird stuff, and when she hangs out on stuff, she'll poop on it. And so she's only allowed to go places where it's okay for her to poop. And the 10th anniversary special clock that I bought for my wife is not one of those places. Let's see. You use SSE on PC. The load times one side of mat to the other is like 3 seconds. You have over 200 mods. You just updated. It works totally flawlessly. Then you're the second person that said that it seems to be working fine now. At first, when it first came out, I was hearing some stuff, some potential problems, and I have not, like I said, I have not done any research into it. Maybe it is at this point that easy. I'll plug it in and everything will work just fine. But I have anticipated, and maybe I'm wrong, and I should just do it. But I anticipated that installing it would end up causing me to. Because here's the thing, with this game, I'll go through phases where I will update it. I'll do things to it, I'll upgrade it, I'll look through mods, I'll add mods, but then things will get unstable. And that's always what's happened in the past. Things will get unstable, and then I'll have to do much troubleshooting, figure out where the problem is, that sort of thing, and... yeah, so I just, like today, I just want to play Skyrim. I haven't played it in 6 months. Last time I played it, the SKSE 64 wasn't a thing. And I definitely want it, don't get me wrong, especially because there's so many mods that are gimped because of it, because they didn't have it before. But yeah, I'm gonna do it. I want to make sure I do it when I have time and patience to deal with potential issues. But the fact that you just said you had 200 mods with no issues, that is super encouraging, Mark. I mean, thanks for sharing that, because that makes me a lot more optimistic than I was otherwise. So... hello, I'm just gonna say Gregor. What's up, buddy? Your health is red. Look at your active. What? What does that mean? My health is red. Look at my active. Now I do have, for those who've come in later, last time I was playing, which was last year, like over 6 months ago or 8 months ago, I am infected with the general vampirism virus right now, which I have a mod called Better Vampires, so I'm going to turn into a vampire at some point, and it's going to be dictated by a mod that improves the mechanics of being a baseline vampire, not the expansion vampire lord that you become as part of the story in one of the expansion packs. This is just when you get bit by a vampire, you contract the disease, and you become a basic vampire. I have a mod that's changed all that. So that's going to happen at some point, and I've decided I'm going to let it happen. And so then there's going to be a little learning curve for me to figure out how to be a damn vampire. So, as you can see, I've walked about 200 yards, and I've walked in 2 rooms so far. I've been streaming for 1 hour and 14 minutes. That's how much I've accomplished. So, you know, baby steps, baby. Foodereer, what's up, buddy? Welcome, sir. Have you been... Do you ever go on Twitter, Foodereer? I touted your, Wait, what am I supposed to kill this guy? What am I doing in here? What is that? Figure out what... Can I talk to this? No, I think this guy's hostile. Anyways. Yeah, I played Vampire Lord years ago. I mean, I played all of the Skyrim and expansion content years before I started my channel. But it's a game that I like. I've gone back to a bunch of times, and it's for me, a good streaming game because it's not a game I have to think too hard about because I'm familiar with it, so I can just kind of screw around. If it was my first time ever playing this, I probably would not be streaming it just because whatever I'm playing when I'm streaming, I don't want my focus to be too enthralled because if I want to really immerse in a game, I'm not going to want to be like watching a chat and interacting with a chat at the same time. So, because I don't like having my attention divided that way. But I played a lot of this, but I'm always adding little things to make it new and to make it fresh too, though. You like bows more than swords? Bows are pretty arguably overpowered. I mean, I do a lot of my damages with bows. But it depends on the situation. I also I think I decided at a certain point I need to focus on my melee hand-to-hand a little bit because my bows were powerful, but if I got toe-to-toe in a fight with someone, I sucked. So I've been consciously trying to work up my hand-to-hand a little bit. Use the dagger. I got the dagger out. AA. Your dragon bow does 310 damage. Holy moly. Oh, but Foodereer. Oh, Mark, you're gonna sub. Thank you, buddy. Oh, did you get put in timeout? I don't know. I don't make those decisions. I've got I constantly have mods in here to make those executive decisions. But typically, if you get timed out, it's because you did something. They don't do it for no reason. Although occasionally people come in and they don't know that they're not supposed to do something. They'll come in and be like, "Sub my channel, sub my channel," and some people think "Oh, what's wrong with running into a chat, running into someone else's stream and shouting in all caps, sub my channel." It's not like you're insulting anyone, but that's an example of sort of thing where some people, they think that's they get timed out for doing something like that. They're like, what? I don't understand. They didn't do anything terrible, but it's no one wants to hear it about sub my channel. But Foodereer. Oh, gibberish? Yeah, spam. If something looks like spam, you'll get timed out. For sure. You hope to get 1 million subscribers. Well, I wish you the best of luck with that. I don't know if I want that many subscribers. As a streamer, I don't know if I want... I like having my little intimate, 15 to 25 people, sometimes, 10 to 25 people hanging out. That's a nice size for me. It's a nice... That's what she said. I don't care that it's not big. It's good. It's how it feels. Am I gonna finish my sentence? Foodereer. No, I'm not. I'm scatterbrained today. I'm not. I'm very unfocused today. I'm not exactly sure why, but no, Foodereer. I was gonna ask if you checked Twitter because I posted a picture of your Christmas gift for me on Twitter. Because, and for those of you who have not seen it, it was the best Christmas gift that I got this year was from Foodereer. And he sent me a framed original copy of the X-Men number 49 from 1968. And I hung that up. I just hung that up today, or was it yesterday? And took a picture of it and posted it on Twitter so I could brag and show off what a cool gift I have and what a cool friend I have. Foodereer is the only person that hangs out in my streams who is my real life best friend. Everyone else I know only from the internet. See, it's fun having the regular plus view. Yeah, Ethan. Yeah, totally. I like when new people come in. I mean, I like the fact that, you know, especially if someone comes in, they're like, "Oh, this is cool. I'm enjoying it here." I like that. You know, that feels nice when that happens. So I definitely, newcomers are welcome. All right, let's see if we can. I don't feel like I can talk to this dude, so we're just gonna. Oh, shit. Did I just hit Inigo?
Mercy.
Oh, he said mercy, Inigo. Inigo, you horrible, horrible, merciless son of a bitch. But he's the only reason I can survive half the battles I get into is because Inigo keeps me from dying. Yeah, I have a feeling too good for you. I think killing him was the way to go. Ooh, a vault key. Ebony armor. I'm not gonna wear it, but that sells. That's some good. Oh shit. What's this? Some nice armor, and it pays. I think the armor I have is better, but it's gonna sell well. I like stuff that sells well. All right, we'll take all that stuff. Looks cool on your wall. Nice, clean. No, the wall's not that clean. I just. I realized after I took pictures of my bird, and I was like, oh, there's like crap up on the walls. Like, I don't think I got it in that picture though, but I looked up and all of a sudden I realized like there's spider webs and shit. You weren't kidding. You have wall space for days. Oh, I only showed a very small portion of my wall too. I do have one wall that's like a huge open space. Because here's what happened, okay? I used to have 2 birds, and we lost one of them a couple years ago. But when the 2 of them were around, it was the male and the female. The male is the one that's no longer with us. But the male was extremely, I don't know, you know like how cats are territorial? That's how the male was. And he liked flying around, landing on everything that he could, and crapping all over everything, and chewing up everything. He was really destructive and kind of ill-tempered. He used to harass the female. He was like an abusive spouse, basically. But the fact of the matter is since he's gone, when the female's out, she's mostly a lot more calm, and she doesn't try to land on everything and chew everything up and shit on everything. So, but at a certain point when we had both of them, because wherever the male went, like the female would try to fly away from him and end up at different places, and that's how they end up getting on and shitting on new things. And then he just like flying all sorts of new places to chew it up and shit on it. So we have a bunch of paintings that got totally shit on. And eventually we took all of our paintings off the walls, all of our pictures and shit, and just never put it back. We have a bunch of shit in our closets that we used to have up on the walls, but they get shit on so much that I put them away. Well, here's the thing, Foodareer, is the female is a lot more calm and timid, even though she had to go back in her cage because she was getting a little. She flew up to the anniversary clock I gave my wife, and I don't want her to shit on that. But she's basically a lot more timid. She's not as proficient a flyer. So she's not constantly, like the male was good at flying and navigating. And so he would be like, it's like a game for him. What weird place can I land on and end up shitting on? And maybe chewing up? Where can I go next to shit on and chew up? And the female's not like that. The female is more like, she's got her 3 or 4 places that she likes to go. Mostly she likes to go wherever I am and hang out on me. So, in fact, Foodareer, look, I have I'm going to show you. Because I took a picture of her right before the stream started, and I got her next to her perch is right next to my desk, so she can hang out near me while I'm working without. Sometimes she's cool to be up on that perch and not screw with me. And it's right next to the X-Men painting, but she won't go on that on her own. She won't. She sort of like just likes flying to me. In this part of the room, she only flies to me. So your painting should be good. And I don't just have her out all the time either. So because she does fixate on me. Like when they were both out, they were chasing each other around and I could actually work and stuff. But now that she's alone, when she's out, which is sweet, but she comes straight to me. And when I'm working and she's like wants to be getting everything I'm doing, I gotta put her back in her cage. A lot of times I put her up on that perch just so she can be near me, but she'll want to, when she starts getting interactive, she'll want to climb all over my keyboard. She'll want to like start chewing on stuff, cords and wires, and anyway.
45 seconds of
Back into the
gameplay.
game. That's 45 seconds of gameplay for the uninitiated. Mike the Enigma, welcome, sir. Let me see. Brian Ferguson, you're new to my stream. Welcome. I don't know if I said welcome. Like I said, I'm being I'm being ADD right now. I've been in front of this chest for like 10 minutes and I haven't even looked at it yet. Hello, Ryler D. Yes, for those who haven't heard the spiel yet, I'm not going to go into the whole story because I've already told it 2 times, but basically, work slows down. My workflow, the sources of my work slow down around the holidays. It takes them a little while to boot up again, and so what I found myself is involuntarily having more free time than I probably should. But so I decided to stream. Yesterday I used my involuntary holiday extension to clean up the apartment. Today I'm using it to stream. Holy shock abate. 60% shock resistance. That's kind of badass. Alright, we're gonna leave that. Alright, so we got what we came here for. Gregor, my bird, yeah! No, she's cool, and she was out here for about the first, I don't know, hour of my stream. But she just started getting... Well, I think what killed it was she flew on top of the anniversary of the tin anniversary clock that I got from my wife. And when she's that's unusual, but when she starts getting in her head that it's time to fly to weird places that she's not supposed to go, that means she's no longer enjoying just hanging out kind of peaceably next to me while I stream. So it was time to put her away. Who's watching in 2017? What does that mean? That's the past, man. We're not there anymore. Did I get a key for this, though? Yep, he had that key for... How do I open this? I must have missed something. Inigo, what do you think, buddy?
What do you need? Let us just try to stay quiet for now.
Alright, fair enough. Did you hear about what is happening to Intel? No. Mike, what is happening? I used to work Intel, by the way. Before, right up until I was working Intel when I got accepted to law school back in 2005. Alright. But I don't keep abreast of what's going on with them. Let me see. You have room on your wall for number 69? Are you talking about the X-Men number 69? Absolutely, man. In fact, you know, I think that this looks really cool. I mean, and I put it in a place where I can sit here at my desk and look at the X-Men comic where I'm sitting all the time. All I gotta do is turn my eyeballs to the left and I can look at it. And I think it looks really cool. And it actually has made me want to... Oh, this is the button, huh? It's made me want to get more framed comics to put in my office area because I think it looks really cool. But if you're talking about like a big poster of, you know, a couple people doing something sexy, I don't got room for that on my wall. I don't know what's going on down here in this underground part. I already finished my quest, but... Or have I? Oh, I just got the key. Okay, I didn't get the thing I was looking for. The thing is actually down here. Alright, good deal. Let me see, get some restore health. Did I see something else over here right when I came in that looked good? Alright. Sneaky, sneaky. Alright, what's happening here? I'm a little wary of this. Because these are all doors that can spring right up in your ass if you're not careful. I don't know what triggers them aside from the button though. Any Jake Paulers here? I don't think so. You know what? I'm so out of it YouTube wise. I never even heard of the guy until the other day. So, and I found a re-upload of the video that caused all the controversy. But really the only effect was I wanted to find out more about this Japanese forest. Foodarier, this is the sort of thing you'd like. There's this guy named Jake Paul, and he's kind of like a goofy, hyper guy, and he stirred up all this controversy because there's this forest in Japan that's nicknamed the Suicide Forest. It's where most people It's the second most popular place in the world where people go to commit suicide. They like go out, and it's a real fucked up looking poor. Anyway, this guy goes out there and he's goofing around. He found a dead body, and his reaction was real awkward, and he was still kind of laughing and doing his goofy shit. And then they thought he was overacting, like hamming it up and stuff. So anyways, a bunch of people got pissed at him. And so that's the only first time I found out about this guy. And I don't know, the video itself, I don't have strong opinions against him because if it was real, which some people say maybe it was like not even a real, he supposedly found it actually someone who hung themselves, and he showed it on his video. He blurred out the face but showed it on his video. Yeah, his reaction in video was not, may have been authentic. I don't know, because you don't know how you're gonna act. Because part of it, he was super, like, he looked scared as shit, like shocked as shit, but then he was still kind of laughing a little bit. But people, you don't know how they're gonna react in a situation like that. But the thing is the fact that he re-uploaded it, and the way he re-uploaded it, and he almost seemed excited about it, like, oh my god, what I found, you know. I think that's where it's not how he reacted at the time, it's how he presented the reaction after the fact that I think is probably the worst part of what he did. But anyways, a lot of people want his head, they want him dead, all this shit. I'm not feeling that bad about it. Kid's 22, he doesn't seem, to be honest, didn't seem all that bright and stuff, so I don't know. It's not, I didn't think it was the worst thing in the world, but what it did trigger in me, I'd never heard of this forest before. And Fuderer, you know, we're both like fascinated by creepy places and creepy shit. And so that's what I spent, once I found out about this, I didn't give it, I watched his little video and then I'm like, all right, noted, now I know what's going on. And then I watched a bunch of videos about this suicide forest. Man, that place is, oh shit, it's creepy, man. And there's like, I found it between different videos of other people that have gone there and recorded it. I've seen like probably 2 or 3 hours of additional footage of people just exploring it and talking about its history and stuff. Logan Paul, Jake's brother, was the one. Oh, then I screwed up. Okay, I don't know who the hell Jake Paul is then. Logan Paul is the one that did that? Okay. Like I said, I don't keep abreast of who's hot and who's not. And when I saw the Paul name, I just thought it was Jake Paul. I thought that's the guy who did the video. But, yeah. Anyways, so I took a detour. Apparently, a mental detour, where someone was bringing up one thing. My lack of intimate and regular knowledge with the YouTube community caused me to take another direction. But anyways, the point is, this suicide forest thing is like really, like the kind of creepy. Hold on here. It's really creepy, Fuderer. And that's the thing. That's the like thing for me and Fuderer. Whoa, shit! Me and Fuderer have a history of being fascinated by creepy places and creepy things. You ever heard of that jackass before he made that stupid vid? I guess he got what he wanted, attention. As long as it doesn't go off as I cross it. There. Everything is disarmed now. Ooh. Forget how to do this. It's been a long time when I don't even remember how to pick locks. Luckily, I've got a million lock picks, so it's not an issue. Which plate? Oh, Jake Paul is another shock value YouTuber, gets in trouble all the time anyway. They're very similar. Can't blame you for the confusion. Yeah. Well, considering I never heard of either one of them until the last 48 hours or so. It's like, and so that's the one that everyone's been talking about. I mean, and that's even just been on regular news stories and shit popping up, like when I go on like news sites and stuff. That's been a headline story. It's a guy, this guy from YouTube who pissed a bunch of people off by going into a suicide forest and being all giggly and shit. Yeah, Fuderer, like the house. That's what it made me think of too. Well, the thing is too, like neither one of us live there anymore, but back in the 90s, Fuderer and I we both lived in San Diego County, and at the time, if you guys remember the Heaven's Gate cult, it was at the time the largest. Well, I mean, it wasn't Jonestown large, but it was one of the biggest mass suicides in U.S. history. 39 people in this UFO cult in San Diego County. They were living in this mansion that they rented. There was like almost 40 of them. And when a comet was passing by, in real life there was a comet passing by, and somehow they thought that there was a UFO hiding behind the comet, that they were supposed to, they were all Star Trekky, so they thought they had to beam up out of their bodies to get to this UFO. And the way they had to beam up out of their bodies was to like kill themselves at the point that the comet was at the closest to the Earth. It's dumb shit, but they killed themselves. And it was right, it coincided right with spring break. Like, it happened right going into spring break. So I came home, we both were home from college, and we're both down in San Diego, like the day after it happened. And we both at that time lived about 5 miles away from that house. We lived really close to where that house was. So we started scaring the shit out of each other. And there was no like Google Maps or anything to really figure out how to get there either. There was no, but we were trying to figure out where it was. And we were like, oh, we should go check it out. We were just like creeping each other out. And then we were like, oh, we should try it. Neither one of us ever owned a Ouija board. But we were like, oh, what if we got a Ouija board? And we like went at the entrance to the property and talked in a Ouija board. And I think I might have gone so far as to that night, we were talking about it, going to a store like a Target or something to see if they were sold Ouija boards, and they didn't. And so that was the end. And then we never pursued it after that. But anyways, holy crap. Okay, I'm falling behind in chat here. Let's see, if you watched The Forest yet. I haven't, but because of this, I saw a preview for it. But that's another thing. I don't really think I even heard of that movie until I started looking into the actual Japanese Forest. Too good for you. Mom says hi. All right, hi, Mom. Tell Mom that Gaming Lawyer says hi. Heaven's Gate cult made the street creepy for a minute, but the houses there all worth 3 to 10 million each, so it's nice over there. Yeah, it was a beautiful neighborhood. There's a podcast that just finished like an 8 or 9 part series on the Heaven's Gate cult. It's like a brand new podcast that it's really interesting. So I just thought about that again recently because through a sequence of podcast referrals and recommendations, I found this Heaven's Gate cult podcast, and it just wrapped up last week. So I've been every week listening to this series where the guy's interviewing family members of former cult members and learning about it in more detail than I'd heard before. And it made me start thinking about that cult again. And then my thought was, is that house still there? Like, does someone move into that house afterwards? Because it's a huge, beautiful house. But I'm thinking, like, you get a discount for that shit if you're like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna buy this house. It's like market value of the identical house next door is like $8 million. And then you're like, oh, but this house it's only selling for $2.5 million. What a bargain. But then someone's like, oh, that's the Heaven's Gate. It's the Heaven's Gate house. Nope, sorry. Nope. Now, I'm not super superstitious, but I'm not moving into no death cult house where a bunch of people killed themselves. Sorry. Especially I'd be like, every night I go to sleep, because there were like 40 of them, so they all, there were like 6 of them to a bedroom and whatever. I don't know how 10 of them, I don't know how they had their sleeping arrangements, but whatever room you decide to sleep in there, there's like 5 of those motherfuckers just killed themselves in that room alone. Screw that. Let me see, let me go back. Forests like that are legit claimed to be haunted and have more people that dead. A lot more people that are just creepy. You would be caught dead there. Just, yeah, I have a morbid fascination, so watching those videos, like, if I could go to that place, I probably would, if it was convenient. Obviously, Japan isn't convenient for where I am right now, but I would go to a place like that. I don't think I would do, like, all the people that go, because the thing is, you walk into this forest, and it's super, super dense and confusing and easy to get lost, and the ground is super treacherous. So if you walk off the trail at all, the whole forest is built over what was previously lava flow from Mount Fuji.
Talons of justice!
Hey Norfie, thank you for becoming a Lawhawk. Oh, welcome. And so the ground is all super treacherous, and there's like there are holes and shit everywhere that are not like you think you're stepping on a patch of leaves, and you're actually stepping into like some sort of jagged lava rock hole, break your ankle. Anyway, it's like super dangerous. But so the people will do is they'll go there, and they'll bring like ribbon, or tape along, like long tape things that they'll go. And when they find a place where they want to go off the trail, a lot of them will bring like a tent because they're not sure. So they'll bring like a camping gear. They'll set up a little camp to think about if they really want to do it, like to really want to die. And if they're not sure, they'll bring a ribbon or the rope or something, and they'll go out into the woods, tie it to a tree, and unwind it as they go so they can find their way back. Because these woods are seriously so difficult to navigate, people can get lost and not find their way out. And so what ends up happening is when these people, they do go out there, and it's like 100 to 200 people a year kill themselves in this patch of woods. It's only a few miles by a few miles in size. It's not, so it's, you see ribbons going off the main trail, and some of them might just be other explorers, but a lot of times those ribbons will lead to where people who went to kill themselves would stop and make a little camp off, half a mile off the road, and they have this ribbon go out the whole time, and make up camp. And so some of these YouTubers are going out and finding these camps, and if you go out and there's like tent and personal belongings, all sorts of shit there. Now the bodies usually aren't there because people go in and they get found and the bodies get removed, but that's creepy as hell, man. Like you go out and you find like a tent and some people's belongings, empty food bottles and shit like that, just abandoned. Because tents aren't super cheap. That's not like people are just gonna go, I'm gonna go out to haunted forest and go camping, and when I leave, just like, oh fuck, I don't care about my tent. It only cost me $150 or whatever. It only cost me $80. Let me catch up on the chat. You made a Ouija board, remember? There was a dude that said he lived. Yeah, we had a friend that had a Ouija board when we were in college, and she got spooked out eventually and got rid of it. She was too scared and she never touched it again. So we never did Ouija board after that, except one night when we were hanging out, and I think it might have been that spring break, Foodavir. On the table, we cut out a bunch of letters and used like a shot glass to move around the table. And you got a little weird that night. We were both drinking too, but I remember you spooked me out, Foodaware, because I went to the bathroom or something and I came back and you had a paper towel or something that you'd set on fire on the table. And so I came out and there was like, and you were just like staring at it, like looking like spaced out or something, staring at it. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like that could, float up and it was just sitting there kind of floating in front of you on fire. And you're like, oh, I didn't know. You're like, I don't know what I was thinking. I just did it. It's like it wasn't even my idea. And I was like, this is fucked up. So we got rid of. I was like, no more improvise this shit anymore. Your place is. Let me see. Peeps shouldn't even be in that neighborhood. It's basically just a bunch of peeps together that rented it. Yeah. Now, I'm just curious about that house. What happened to that house now? That place is ghost status now. It's unfortunate that happened because it's probably the richest place in America. It's very sneaky. Anyone play Clash of Clans? Nope. Isn't that a quote-unquote free-to-play mobile game that's basically transaction? It's microtransaction based, isn't it? Not touching that. I got plenty of real games to play. If I want to play a strategy game, I have a lot more in-depth, cool games that I can play that won't be trying to bill me every 5 seconds to keep playing. Back, did he read about Intel? Oh shit, let me look up. I've been going off on tangents because we keep bringing up stuff. I'm scrolling up. The last I remember is you just asked if I heard about Intel, and I said no. And then we got talking about creepy shit. I got sidetracked. Okay, I've scrolled up several minutes. Intel has been circumventing a security protocol to boost performance of their processors. Microsoft is going to patch the issue. Through a Windows update, they might take down performance by 30%. No, I had not heard that. And that's kind of screwed up. I thought Microsoft and Intel were friends. I'll keep an eye on that situation. And yeah, before I go, that's it. Before I freak out about it, I'm gonna research it myself. So right now it's earmarked as an issue of concern. But sometimes the headline that hits that sounds sensational, when you take a closer look at it, it turns out it's like, oh well, 30% in such and such circumstances or such and such context. And then it's like the rest of the time it's only if you're using it to do X, Y, and Z using this particular application or, you know, whatever. Gregor's got to go to sleep. Bye. Okay, goodbye. Hello, Jude. Casual is everywhere. I've never played Clash of Clans. I just know I've seen marketing for it. And it looks like the kind of game where if I was remotely interested, I've already got games a gajillion times better that I could play on my PC for, you know, without microtransactions. And Jordan, you just subscribed. Thank you, sir. Remember the house I lived in next... The house I lived in next to the house you're talking about. It was spooky too. Yeah, Foodereer. He lived in a big house that was kind of surrounded by woods. And that house itself you lived in, it was cool, but it was like a big house and it had some weird... They had like secret doors and shit in it. Like that, even that house, it's not that it was scary, but there's certain features of that house that you lived in that were almost surreal. That the kind of like, it's the kind of house that you would have in a dream. It was like, oh, there's a stairway that leads up to a platform. And then if you push on this bookshelf, you end up in a secret room. Or you end up in this like a secret panel that leads you into the third bedroom or something like that. And it's just like, oh, is that real? Was that a real house or did I dream that house? It's like a fever dream, man. Place is so sneaky when I was a teenage secretary. I just roll up in an old pickup? What? Master Asmus walk around downtown? Are you talking about that town, Foodereer? Set up to... let's see. Up to not 30% across the board. Alright, let's see what's going on. I'm getting totally derailed from the game. This is totally becoming a me just chatting stream. It's just more like a podcast. Like I just realized I don't think I've actually played game in about 20 minutes right now. I haven't even been doing my signature pacing around thing. I've just had it like on a pause screen for 20 minutes. It had secret doors to grab me foes like is that what it was? So yeah, but that house was really cool. It had like all that woodwork. Like it had all this huge custom giant like isn't it like a staircase with some massive like carved woodwork that was all in like carved like animals, and that was an amazing house, dude. That was like one of the nicest houses I've ever been in. All right, okay, this is what I'm looking for. Wow. I took that and I didn't even... Okay, where was the... Was there something I could have disarmed that I didn't notice? Anyways, alright, we're done. Let me see, let me check on my, gotta check on my vampire status. Okay, I'm still just turning into a vampire. I'm not one yet. Punctuation that said up to 30%. Not 30% across the board. So, well, yeah, I'd just be curious to, I can see the details of that story, or because it's also, you know, again, there's a lot of times there's a lot of context to a story like that, where you hear something and it sounds terrible, and then when you get the full scoop, it's like, it's not technically incorrect, but it's not as bad as the headline would suggest. You know what I'm saying? Potions. I'm not going to use those potions, but I'll sell them for moolah. All right, let's get out of here. Right? Oh, where does this go? There we go. And my lockpicking went up. Oh, that was just another entrance to get into this place. See, remember when I worked at the retail store in Albertsons when I was a kid? Where the current Secretary of Treasury at the time would roll up in a pickup truck. Holy crap. It was a custom door. Yeah, the door. The door was huge, but didn't you also in the house, there were certain sections, like I want to say there was like a stairway that had more stuff, even once you got in the house, that had all these, I mean, you just, as a kid, I didn't really understand probably how much that shit was worth. But now thinking back to it as an adult, it was like, yeah, you had doors in that house that were worth more than, like, flipping whole houses in other neighborhoods. Okay, I think I'm done here. The big bookshelf library would open to your system. Yeah, that's right, Fooder. That's exactly what I remember. Okay, so it wasn't... I wasn't just a weird dream that I had about stuff happening in my past. It was an awesome, weird house. You wish you kept it. It was huge, though, man. It was super huge. And in the end, it was just your dad living in there. That felt... I don't know. I could see... and there's a lot of history in that house, too, man. I could see why maybe Pops would wouldn't want to be, like, living in there all by himself forever. There's a lot of work, and then there's a lot of... You know, just a lot of... that house could be haunted too, for all we know. I don't know, man. The rock pool, that was all. I don't even remember the pool. That house had a rock pool? Either way, it doesn't look good for Intel since AMD has been coming out with good things lately. I have not looked into the hardware scene in a while. I built my PC. But I built my PC with slightly future-proof, so I wouldn't. Now, in retrospect, I got an i5 4670. I forget what it is exactly. It's in my description, video description. At the time, I was not ever planning on having a YouTube channel. Since I started streaming and doing video rendering and all that shit, I think I probably should have kicked another $100 in to go for an i7, decent i7. But I've only upgraded as I felt necessary, and I have not yet felt necessary to upgrade my CPU. So I have not looked into anything going on with CPUs since I built my computer 4 years ago. I upgraded my video card, my graphics card last year into a nice midline GTX 1060 3 gigs. And I think also last year I upgraded my, where did Inigo go? Buddy, lost Inigo. I also upgraded my RAM. I doubled my RAM because I made the computer upgrade. I started with 8 gigs of RAM because in 2013, there he is. In 2013, that's all you needed. But we're reaching a point where 16 is starting. Oh, I feel weaker as the sun rises. Okay, you know what? We should get back to our Dark Brotherhood house. Because I have a feeling maybe it's happening. Maybe I'm turning vampire. And I don't want it to be happening while I'm out in some stranger danger location. Oh, hey, Nick. Good evening, Nixie. Welcome to my random Skyrim stream. Before you ask, oh, you might not ask because you're not super in the mod scene. I have not updated or done any mod stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's happened in the mod world that I've missed since the last time I played Skyrim. And, including SKSE, I haven't updated. I just want to play Skyrim, so I didn't update it. But yeah. New Year's workflow hasn't started yet, so I'm sitting here a little bit shitting bricks about when am I going to get work again. I figure as long as I wasn't working today, I might as well stream, play some Skyrim. Yeah. Rock pool. Used to jump off the rocks. Mr. Brunswick, I didn't even notice. I'm having a hard time keeping up with chat right now. I think I'm having like 3 or 4 different conversations running in parallel right now. haunted shit, Intel CPUs, modding. It's a delicate juggling act. I swam in that pool many times. I probably did, Fooder. I just don't remember that. I don't remember that pool. I honestly don't. Because you moved to that house. I never actually hung out at that house until we were like 18 and older. Because you moved to that house when we're freshman or sophomore in high school. And that's when you moved away from our school. And we didn't hang out anymore until we both graduated. And we started hanging out again. And so by the time I was 18 was the first time I saw your house. And when I was 18, I didn't do a hell of a lot of swimming. Unless you're talking about your original house.
Go.
That I knew you.
Take
I don't even
care
remember
of the Muiri contract.
So I don't even remember a pool being there.
I promise you.
Anyways, rock pool with waterfalls. So Mr. Brunswick is another streamer here. He's awesome, actually. I've conspicuously been absent from almost everybody's streams for the past several months for various reasons, some of which I do not wish to go on into in the stream, but suffice to say, life has been extremely distracting. I haven't even made half of my own streams in the last couple months. I usually do at least one stream a week, and there have been weeks where I've gone 2 weeks. I almost have.
Crazy.
At one point, I almost would have gone a month without a stream because of shit that's going on. Because when I did on a Thursday night, when I normally do my streams, there have been times where I've just been like, I'm just not up to it. Please play more Skyrim. I'm working on it, man. I'm trying. Okay, here's a way that I am in my streams is when I spend most of my energy addressing and interacting with chat. Which means while I'm doing that, I'm not necessarily paying a hell of a lot of attention to my game. Because if I start really paying attention to my game, I sort of stop engaging in chat, at least not to the way that I have been tonight. And chat swimming by. Can you see the world map? Sure. As long as... Here's the world map. No, I don't want that. Move that. World map. I have some mods to make it easier to see. And I think also mods that added roads to everything. So you can see where all the roads are. I mod everything. And I also had mods to get rid of all the clouds and shit. Because normally there's like clouds blocking all the views. Let me see. Brunswick said, you want to speak to your lawyer? I'm not on the clock right now. I forget, Mr. Brunswick, do you have me on retainer? Quick questions. Did you play Oblivion? I have played Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. I never finished Morrowind. I actually got into that last year for a while. And I was really into it, but then some of the mods I did screwed up a major portion of it, and I got frustrated and I stopped playing it. But I have yet to complete Morrowind. Because when I first got it, and I got it in 2003 or 2004 when it first came out, but I never had a system that could really play it well, so I don't end up getting frustrated and not finishing it. And also, that was before mods, because there's certain things about it that I don't like unless I can play it modded. Back then, mods, it didn't have 15 years of mod history behind it. But yeah, but I played Oblivion. I have Knights of the Nine. I have like the complete edition. I never played Knights of the Nine. And then Shivering Isles, I never completed Shivering Isles, which is a major content expansion. But I did play the main game. The pool is great to lure nice ladies. Yeah, well, yeah, too good for you. Do a face cam? Nope. Let's see. That's all I'm gonna talk about. The pool had a dark bottom, so when you swim in it, it feels like something is on your back. Yeah, Foodera, I'm honestly feeling like I'm sure I saw that pool, but the only thing I ever remember hanging out at your house is basically like going to your room. And like, we go to your room, and you would have like Bacardi 151. You'd be like, here, drink this shit, man. And you'd be like, I'm gonna make Boilermakers, and I'm like, I don't like beer, and I'm gonna take it straight. And then I drank the Bacardi 151 straight, and I think I almost died, man. That stuff was harsh. But mostly I remember going to your room, and you always, this is when we were like 19 or 20. We were too young to buy alcohol, but like you had connections. So it was always about going up in your room where you had your stash, and then we'd like stay up all night drinking until we fell asleep. Or we'd go to TJ. That was, yeah, because we were old enough to go to TJ legally. You're living near the beach. We were so close. Yeah, for a while my parents had a condo, like right basically at the beach that was close to where Foodarier lived at the time. And during the summers, the last couple of summers, we originally bought it to like rent out, but at a certain point that became like our main residence in San Diego. So when I was coming home from college, that was kind of sweet. It's like living at a resort. Have I checked out a mod called Beyond Skyrim? Is that the one that includes some of the Bolivian lands? I know there's a few mods that add extra continents. I think what you're talking about is Broom... I can't remember what it's called. It's a Skyrim area. I've not used it. I'm aware of it. It's a major content edition. And again, the way that my stream style is, I'm not sure I want to do a whole lot of new content, because as you can tell, I have a really hard time even just basically playing the game. But that's the sort of thing like I would probably install to play on a private game that I'm not streaming at a certain point. Just like the what the hell is that? Avery, you still here? Avery Satos? The huge that huge overhaul mod that I've converted my vanilla Skyrim to, Enderal. I started playing and I was getting real into, and that's a game that I'm pretty much going to play on private. I will not play it on stream because it's something that I want to immerse myself into. And that's a basic rule of thumb, is if I see new content that I feel like I want to become immersed into, the last thing I would want to do is stream it, because I cannot immerse myself in a game while I'm streaming, really, at all. Because that's, part of it's just how I am. You know, it's just how I am when I'm streaming, because I'm paying, like, for those of you who've been here, how long have I been streaming? I've been streaming for 2 hours. If you're going to condense all of my actual gameplay, it probably boiled down to about 12 minutes. So, enough said. 2017 kind of sucks. We got, yeah, 2017 kind of sucked. My personal life, 2018 is kicking off with more and worse suck, leading straight out of 2017. But, yeah. So for me, shit's gonna get a lot more effed up before it starts gradually, like, coming back up, maybe, at a certain point. I don't know. I can't see the end of the tunnel at this point, but I know it's got to be there. I know it's there. It's going to be there eventually. Looking, missing so many things. The Pizza Hut house had no pool. That's what I thought. Fair place. The Rubio's next to, yeah. The place that we had. I mentioned Rubio's fish tacos a bunch of times. The place that my family had by the beach. Like, right across the street, there was a little shopping center that had a Rubio's Fish Tacos restaurant in it. Oh my god. That was awesome. Beyond Skyrim, Bruma. Right, that's Nerd Killer. That was the one I was trying to think. I couldn't remember Bruma. It was a brew something. Why no face cam, please? No. No. You want to see what I look like? Here. Here, that's me. There you go. Here's face cam. I always wear a tuxedo. Right now, I'm wearing a tuxedo, and those books are right there. So for the next few minutes, I'm gonna keep this up here, and just for you, but you're not getting any face cam. This is as good as you're gonna get. Slobby swam in it millions of times. So maybe. I just don't remember it. I just know by the time we became friends, I was not huge into swimming. Chicken bones too. Yeah. I don't know. I just remember going to your house. The other thing we did was when your other friend, there's the girl with the Ouija board, and we all got together in your house a couple times and screw around with that. And that's another reason Probably why when I think of that house, I think about scary stuff. Vampire Con. Hello, everyone. Not seeing you in a while, game. How are you doing? I don't remember the name Vampiric Con. Is that a variation? But welcome. You're gonna head out. See ya. All right, Mike. The Enigma. Lawhawks. Caw! What were you doing when we last played Skyrim? Well, here's the main thing. I'm in the Dark Brotherhood. The big thing that's happening is I have the vampirism virus, and I think I've decided to let it progress, so I'll become a vampire, which I've never done before, aside from the story in the Dawn, whatever that Dawnguard expansion, where you can become a vampire lord. And another playthrough, I did that, so I have experienced that, but I've never been just a type of vampire where you fight a vampire and you get the vampire infection and you just let it turn you into a regular vampire. I've got that happening, and I also have a mod called Better Vampires, which completely changes the dynamic of being a vampire. In fact, let me do a hard save right now while I'm thinking about it, because I want to, in case being a vampire is burdensome in a way that I don't want, I would like to be able to come back and cure it before it happens, because I don't remember once you actually become a vampire. I don't know how to unbecome a vampire. I'm a little afraid the mechanics of being a vampire are going to be, as you know, on my streams I have a hard time paying attention, focusing on game. That's why I like playing Skyrim for the most part, is because it's a game I don't have to think about very much, because I've already played it 500 hours. But if the game starts becoming a little more demanding in terms of demanding my attention for learning mechanics or getting on top of stuff that I'm not used to Skyrim doing, I might want to retract my vampirism. So, like I said, been streaming for 2 hours. I've had 12 minutes of gameplay, of like honest gameplay. Let me see. There is no tunnel, it's on your head. I missed the context of that. Oh, the tunnel. Light at the end of the tunnel. I think that the tunnel metaphor in my particular case serves a somewhat valid function, and it is not, in fact, all in my head. There is some... Yeah. I don't want to, especially now that there's all these new people here, don't need to hear my baggage, but there's some serious stuff happening in my personal life that is not a matter of mindset. I could be as positive or as negative as I want, and this stuff that's happening in my life is still happening. It still sucks, and it's kind of devastating, but I don't want to, you know. I'm okay. The stuff's going on in my family. My dad's dying. Right? We'll just put it like that. He's in the middle of it right now. Dying. And I got a few more weeks. So that's it. I'm not going to get totally into it, but the fact that I'm in a tunnel right now, and it doesn't feel like the light at the end, you know, whatever, I can't see it yet, and that's where I'm at. You were in the pool, trust me. What other friends? Alright, well, Fudarir, you seem pretty convinced that I was in the pool. You will recall, however, that I have a pretty good memory. So, I don't know. I'm not saying it did not happen. I'm just saying
life is simple and
at the point at which I began hanging out at your house, I do not recall swimming being a major activity that I did. But it doesn't mean I was never in there. I could just been in there and forgotten it. I know I was finally in Eli's pool once. I think just dangling my feet in it.
This whisper be upon
but at least
you, brother.
What I accidentally, okay, what? I let something slip there. Anyways, I won't correct it because I don't want to connect. I don't want any dots to be connected, but we're going to came back as soon as someone said tacos. Hey, Dark Lytton. And did I see Princess Unicorn? I don't think I said hi to you, Princess Unicorn. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everyone that I haven't said Happy New Year to yet. That's a sexy beast. Love the books in the background. Yeah, there you go. That was just for now. Oh, you're back. Too good for you. Look, and I had this picture up just for you because you're so obsessed with seeing me in a webcam that I decided this is as close as you're gonna get. But that whole reason that picture of me is up right now is because of your some borderline obsession with me having webcam, which is not gonna happen. Random dude in a suit, 2001, colorized, taken from my rich people picture 32703. That was in fact, now I did Photoshop, it was a picture of my wife and I at a wedding. And at a certain point, I decided I wanted to have a, it's my favorite picture of me because it just looks cool. It's not like, I look a little bit like I got a stick up my ass. So I don't look that serious all the time, but
Greetings, brother.
I like that picture. But basically I photoshopped my wife. I didn't want everyone seeing my wife because she didn't agree to have her picture shown on the internet, on my YouTube. So I photoshopped my wife and the wedding out, and I put the bookshelf behind me so it looked more like I'm a man of leisure, like I'm an academic James Bond, where I'm just like I wear a tux and I just sit around in a library studying with books. You can cure vampirism as of the fact, if necessary. It's not too intrusive, but you'll want to eat a human at least once a day. Yeah, we'll see how that works. Now, one thing is that I'd have slowed down the time scale in this game a whole lot.
Hounds of justice!
Gabriel Blackmon has become a Lawhawk. Thank you for your subscription, Gabriel. It is very much appreciated. The time scale I've slowed way down in this game, so that each day takes several hours instead of 15 seconds is what it feels like. So hopefully my vampire hunger will reflect that, and so I'm not going to have to be constantly like, oh shit, I'm vampire starving again, because again, I've been streaming for 2 hours, 12 minutes of gameplay, because I've been putting most of my energy into keeping up with chat, and poorly at that. Don't you remember those girls in there and things you did? Foodware, I do not recall. I do not recall ever doing anything with any girls at your house. I remember there being girls at your house, but it was like, remember the girl with the Ouija board, you know? You remember, you know who I'm talking about. I don't, even if I had been presented with an opportunity to do something with Ouija board girl in a pool, I would have opted out, shall we say. And Chicken Bone Sister? Nope. Not doing anything in a pool there. Alright, here's what's going on now. My wife just came home. Hey. No, I'm just talking in chat. I'm still waiting for work, so I decided to stream. Yeah. I decided there wasn't enough cleaning to do. So, I would play some Skyrim. Everybody, my lady wife has arrived home.
Hiya.
She's carrying a number of goodies. Hey, anything exciting?
Broccoli seeds for sprouting.
Ooh, we got broccoli seeds. So, yeah, I'm just poorly. I'm trying to keep up with chat, and I'm doing a bad job of it. And playing Skyrim, which is not really happening either.
You know,
a couple people.
Like 5 seconds.
A couple of people have been like, "You should play the game more," and but instead we're talking about what's going on. So now you guys all get to be here during the time when my wife comes home, and we're going through mail. It's very exciting. Going through mail, she comes from the outside world, because I work at home, so I spend a lot of, there'll be like several days go by often where I don't even really leave my house. So she comes, it's sort of like she comes from the outside world with things, and it's like, wow, what did you bring from the outside?
I also brought tofu.
I like tofu.
Thought we were getting love, so I got
Oh my goodness, what is this? Oh my goodness. This is the guy that I work for.
Oh, he's so nice.
The guy that I work for sent me just a card wishing us well and thanking me for my hard work. Says that and for being great to work with. There's basically one guy whose business is coordinating with all these work comp offices, and I'm lucky. All I gotta do is he collects all this work and then distributes it for people. So all I gotta do is pick up the work, do the work. He's the one that actually finds the office and generates the business. So I feel like he's got the harder stuff to do. And he says I'm really important to their success. He appreciates the energy I give to the work. All right, and he gave me, holy crap! It's like he piled me up with gift cards too. He gave me like a couple Amazon gift cards and some Starbucks gift cards. Yay! Merry Christmas! I think a certain someone that I know is getting the Starbucks gift cards because you have to leave the house to use these. Actually, you probably find a way to use them online. All right, I don't know. Hold on. I know I'm missing a ton of chat too. So this is the first time I've done a stream during the wife coming home transition when I didn't just stop the stream. So that's okay, isn't it? Okay. She's gonna make some food in the other room. I'm always worried when she comes home that like it'll be super rude if I don't stop my stream when she comes home. But today, I didn't start streaming until later, so let me catch up here. Good job. The red pill, continue. Take the blue pill. Can see that. All right, Soul Hydra's getting pretty deep there with a metaphor that my brain is not processing well. Don't remember the girl with the Ouija? You don't remember Ouija board girl? You know who I'm talking about. She let me see. But I know you know who I'm talking about. I'm trying to think of a person of a word that named. Let's see. Let's say her name rhymes with Drea. Something Aya. And she had a Ouija board for about a year, and then when she used to bring it, whenever we'd all get together, she'd bring it, and we'd screw around with it, and then at some point she said she saw demons or something. She got scared, and she got rid of it. She said some story about it, like it flew out of her closet, or it floated in front of her. I don't know. I have a feeling, I don't know what, I think she just stopped wanting to use it, so she made up some crazy-ass story. But anyways, that Gabriel would like me to kill some random shit. I will once I'm officially in chat emergency chat catch-up mode right now. You trying to do World War II memes. Princess Unicorn. What I meant to do when I sang random picked up a dude in a tuxedo. Oh! Alright. G-Law is very serious. This is a no-joke zone. I don't know what that means because I have no sense of humor, Nick. That's why it's a no-joke zone. Vampire lawyer, your payment is blood. Well, some people do say lawyers are bloodsuckers. So maybe it'll work out. Maybe I'll take to this like a fish in water when my guy finally becomes a vampire. Let's see, you can tool Vetter Vampires mod so that the fresh blood potions satisfy your hunger. Well, that's certainly something I'll need to consider once it happens and I see how the mechanics work. If it becomes too much of a pain in the ass, which will require me to go back and re-examine the mod, its options, and its various mechanics, which I have not done. Like I said, I basically just turned on Skyrim and started streaming. So, and then I found there were a bunch of. I spent the first 20 minutes doing technical difficulties because of Skyrim's weird sound issues that I have with Skyrim on my stream. People are saying hi, Mrs. G-Law. She says hi. She's in the kitchen. She says hi back. What's that? Yes, please. That's probably when I'll get off stream. She's making some kind of a stir fry. And she just asked if I wanted some too. Which means, well, the two things could happen. I can eat the stir fry on the stream, but I have a feeling the ASMR would. I don't think a lot of people would like to hear that. I just sit here and talk, either not talk or talk with my mouth full. Mrs. G-Law has food in the, seed form. No, she's been wanting different seeds to see if she can grow things around here. So we'll see how that goes. Bootereer needs a hint. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna text you. I can't believe, even with my hint, you didn't get it. But when I say the name, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to be careful though, because my iPhone's gonna want to spell check the hell out of this, because it's like I think it's a made up name, you know? Nope, it did spell check it into something else. Yep, there we go. So, and I'll just, for completionist sake, I'm mentioning the two names of the only girls I remember seeing at your house. Oh wait, one of them, there was another one, and she was your girlfriend. So, and she was cute, but I wasn't gonna try to hit that up. That was your girlfriend. So, there was your girlfriend who was cute, and then there were these other girls that hung out there sometimes who I really wouldn't have wanted to. Oh, I am way behind. Okay, pretty weird. And it's not that my stream is necessarily lagging. It's just that I am way behind my stream right now because I fell behind, and I've missed a lot of stuff. Like Gabriel saying, "I guess I'm a lawhawk." He probably said that 10 minutes ago. Let's see. Someone talking about them. You can order food from Starbucks on your phone and just go over to pick it up. Oh yeah, she does that. Another reason why my wife would be a better candidate for the Starbucks gift cards. So, because she also passes like 5 Starbucks on her way to work, so and on her way home. There's like Starbucks everywhere. So she has plenty of opportunities to order over her phone and pick up on her way in there. Alright, talking about WoW stuff. Okay, now Fooder, I see. However many minutes ago, I see you remembering who it was. Okay. That was not Taya, Soul Hydra. J. Coop, Empire Trip, bruh. I don't know what that means, but trippin'. Hey, someone started political dialogue so people can laugh at comments while watching. Nope, that's not happening. We don't do politics in here. We talk about things that bring us together, not the things that tear us apart. Never want to mess with a Ouija board. What's your random shit? Yeah, I never had my own Ouija board, but there was that little spell there for a year or so where we had a friend in our circle had one who brought it every time we'd all get together. She'd have it, and then we'd all get like somewhat obsessed with it. But I was always a little bit, like I said, I'm not super duper superstitious, but the Ouija boards, because their reputation's always I was always a little hesitant to buy and own my own and have it in my house. So don't worry, gaming lawyer, you tool the mod for better vampires in game. There's this whole list of menus you go to. Do I need a current copy of SKSE in order to access those menus in a way that you're describing? Or I get a book or something? I don't know. That's what... Maybe I should have... Knowing that I was... Because I decided before I started streaming, I decided that I was going to Vampire. But I probably should have looked into the mod and how that mod works before I finalized that decision. You got it with hand... You're puking right now. Don't puke too much, man. They were nice. They were nice ladies, okay? I liked them. I just wouldn't have wanted to screw around with either one of them in a swimming pool. That's all I'm saying. We don't like to mess with that kind of spooky stuff anyway. Princess Unicorn. Yeah, no. And that's sort of... That was one of the major things growing up that everyone was scared. Now, here's 2 things when I was growing up in the 80s that were considered horrible things. If you did, you might as well just like sacrifice the baby for Satan. One of them was Ouija boards, and the other one was Dungeons and Dragons. Well, at a certain point, I think I realized the whole Dungeons and Dragons thing was bullshit. But by the nature of what Ouija boards did, I never reached a point where I was like, oh, that was just some weird extremist religious fanatic stuff. People were scared of Ouija boards. No, there was something inherent about the activity of Ouija boards which lended well to like spiritual paranoia in a way that Dungeons and Dragons did not. Don't worry, Prince. Ouija boards don't actually do anything. So there certainly are scientific explanations for what Ouija boards do that do not require anything supernatural whatsoever. But I think the way that our minds work and the way that our minds make connections with things that I know I've experienced things that Ouija boards have said that at the time kind of blew my mind. Like, I remember there was a group of people that didn't know me, that hadn't met me till that night. They were on the board, and I was asking them to ask it questions about me, about my life, and it was getting those questions right. And stuff like, what is my dead grandmother's
Astrid
name?
And this sanctuary.
And it guessed
Life
it.
Is simple
And the people on the board wouldn't have known that. So now I don't know. And I'm a skeptic in general in life. I'm a skeptic about a lot of things. But I keep I keep a reserved part of myself that is like, yeah, I know that there's scientific explanations for all this shit, but there are also, I've had experiences that made me second guess those explanations on occasion, you know? Moxire, yes, streaming on a Wednesday. Not to get super duper into the story again, but work, which I've told at some points at length today, New Year's workflow has not become a thing that's happening yet. So I'm streaming instead of, I was probably gonna end up playing games today anyways, and instead of just feeling bad about not doing anything, I figured, well, I might as well do something that will bring happiness to some people, so I decided I'd stream. But turns out I'm not really playing a game. I'm just the game's in the background and I'm running in circles while I'm trying relatively unsuccessfully to keep up with chat. Last time I heard that she was peddling dog clothes or something. Wasn't she making dog jewelry? Am I remembering correctly? This person, the Ouija board girl, was self-employed at a self-made company that made dog. Was it dog jewelry? I could be remembering wrong, but I want to say that's what Ouija board girl. Now, we never called her Ouija board girl, ever. I just started calling her that tonight because I was talking about Ouija boards and this particular girl who owned one. Summon Mario with a Luigi board. Yeah, why not? Noxire, you're buzzed. All right. Well, be prepared to have your comments not noticed because that's the kind of stream I'm having tonight. And everyone who gets sometimes to get your feeling, if you get your feelers hurt when I miss comments, it's happening. It's happening. I keep saying tonight. It's not even night. It's happening right now. And I one point fell about 15 minutes behind in chat, and then I tried to catch up. Eric Gaming, sorry you're not joining the stream in a long time. Eric! Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find... you're still here. Look what I found, buddy. Potato time! That was one of Eric's special things when I played Skyrim, is he always wanted me to shoot deer and steal potatoes. And I haven't seen any deer yet, but there's some potatoes in honor of Eric Gaming. You have no doubt it's a blood game. Sorry if people is going about stuff happening, just stay away. Well, I mean, the thing is, it's what it's supposed to be doing in Ouija board is you're supposed to be talking to ghosts, spirits, and or demons, depending on who you ask. And so there are a lot of people, like proper religious folks, that say that is pretty much like anti whatever god you worship. Doing that is like a betrayal. So alright, still continuing to catch up with that. Or energy gateway, simply that. It's lower beings that feed your fear. Now see here we have Nixie saying it's all scientific explanation, and I know people have said basically what it is scientifically is it's the subconscious. It's subconscious of when you get a bunch of people on a board who have their basically their muscles sort of spring-loaded to follow this thing, and you get 2 or 3 people on touching this little thing, and you ask a question, and that at some point, like, somebody is going to have some little minute mental impulse about where that thing should be going, and without consciously doing it, it ends up getting shoved to those places.
The shadow scales are all but forgotten.
Unless every time a working Ouija board is happening, somebody's full of shit and they're pranking you, which I've done it enough times to think that that wasn't happening, because I know when I was on there, I wasn't screwing around. like making it move places just to make like, oh my god, guys, you know.
Take care of the Muiri contract.
And I don't think the people I was doing it with were doing that either. Except, you know, like Fudarir is the type that would. He was the type of guy that would be like, oh, ask it. I'm gonna ask it what my favorite thing in the world is, and like all of a sudden it's spelling out lots of dicks. And if Fudarir's on the board, I have a feeling he's the guy making it say that. You don't mess with that crap anymore. So you know, ghosts in real life. Yeah, Fudarir. I think you become much more so like a believer in stuff since we were kids. And we were always sort of believers, like maybe believer, but you seem like much more solidified in the fact of like that there are ghosts and demons, and no question they're there and they're real. I'm not there. I'm obvious. I'm not there. But I keep it. I have a special part reserved for the possibility. That's all. That's what I've got.
Take care
and
of
enough of that there in my head where I still get scared.
I promise you.
I can still get spooked and I can still get scared by stuff, which mostly for me is just fun. But I also don't do anything. I avoid situations where, you know, maybe some really horrible, terrible shit.
Take care of the Muiri contract. There will be plenty more, I promise you.
I should stream Fortnite. It's a possibility, but I have no immediate plans to do so, Eric. I played a little bit of Fortnite when they first released
the Muiri contract.
The Battle Royale type thing, and I had a little bit of fun for a couple days on my own. Never streamed it.
In this sanctuary.
Not sure it would fit in with my stream style. For example, 2 hours of 2.5 hours of stream now. 2.5 hours of stream now. And aside from running in circles in a place like I am right now, actual concerted gameplay, less than 15 minutes. Not conducive to a PUBG stream. Or not PUBG, Fortnite. Anyways, so I'm not ruling it out, but it could happen. You don't believe in the Amityville horror. It's a good read though, but I agree there's some freaky shit. I used to think Amityville horror might be real until I heard after the fact, like everyone involved in making that story, basically they sounded like they were a bunch of like con people, liars. I don't know. I sort of believed that for a while. Yeah, I'm asking to check out. Can you ask everyone to check out Zombie Boy 755? No. We do not promote other streamers here like that. So, sorry. Or did you? I forget. Did you come in here asking for us to sub you? Were you that guy? I know you've hung around and actually chatted, so you're not just here to plug other people. But now going into one person's stream and trying to plug someone else's stream is not something I encourage. I get a lullaby. You want a lullaby? What time? It's like the sun's not even down most. If you're in the U.S., and maybe you're not in the U.S., but it can't be any later than like 8 o'clock. You do lullaby already? If you still, if the answer is still yes, I can give you one. But I know you hang out a lot later than this, and while I do dispense lullabies, if I feel like people are just asking for lullabies because they want to make something happen, I'm not this inclined to do it on demand. Hello, Jared. Especially when I'm in the middle of a stream where I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time keeping up with chat. I'm a believer in energy. It's real. When you come here, you will believe too. I will show you. Well, that's ominous. I've known a lot of people that believe a lot of different things.
Scales
we'll just put it like that.
Ancient tradition from another time.
So, and some of them have been. I mean, I dated a girl once for a little while that believed like full-on demons and shit. She had all these stories about her ex-boyfriend was possessed by a demon, and she had all these incredible stories that if I had witnessed firsthand, and they happened as she described, I would be like, holy shit. But typically when the things that I get to end up seeing firsthand, and then they're like, oh, well, the reason it's not happening right now is because you don't believe hard enough. It's like, well,
take care of the
if part of the thing, if part of the standard for me experiencing this thing is to go into it believing it, it's like, that, at least from a skeptic's point of view, that's not. Anyways, I'm not gonna talk about this anymore. I never steered you wrong, man. Trust me, they're here. I'll take you. to that ghost house. I'm a little scared of what you, because I have a little scared of what you will do if you go back to that ghost house, Foodaware. Like, I'm afraid something in you's gonna go a little crazy if you go back to that place. Because the way you talked about it, you thought it was like possessing you or some shit. And even though I don't necessarily believe that that's maybe not exactly what happened, the fact that you think that that's what happened, and that that's how you feel when you think about that house or going to that house, makes me think that might not be a best place for you to go, dude.
Greetings, brother.
That's why I bring up that house sometimes, and then I'm like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have brought it up, because it's like, it really screws with your head, man. I'm a believer in spooky, scary skeletons. I hear that, yeah. I went to the doctor, they did this x-ray once, and there was definitely a spooky skeleton living inside of me. It scared the shit out of me. Can everyone check out Foff Zim Bobo? No, Foodaware. There's no, you can't plug other people here, okay? Come on. You can't pay me enough to watch the Conjuring, but I want to after learning about Annabelle. But wait. Yeah, and that's another thing where I don't know how true that story is. But I like the story, I like watching it. I've seen it. I didn't see Annabelle, but I saw the Conjuring. And were those people involved in the Amityville horror too?
Something.
I don't know. It just seems that there are certain people that are epicenters of paranormal activity. And some would say it's because they're sensitive to it and they can see what happens. But then I think there are certain people in the world, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone in particular, but there's certain people that seem to have a lot of stories because they have very active story-making abilities, and they don't mind, they don't mind if what they tell other people is not strictly some stuff that actually happened in reality. They have other motivations, such as wealth or attention, for telling such stories. Not that there are people that experience things and still totally sincere and legit, and they believe it's what it is. But I think there's a lot of, let's just say there are a lot of people that make up a lot of shit out there,
brother,
for various reasons. And there are a lot in the world. There's a lot of people in the world that will give them good money to encourage them to continue doing such things. The Grudge is pretty good. That scared the hell out of me. It's just because it's weird. The presentation is very strange in there. Thank you, Wibble Creeps. I put this up because I don't see his name in here right now, but somebody was asking for a face cam, and I said no. And he kept pushing the issue, and I said no again. But then I put this up, to appease him. And then it turns out he'd left. He wasn't even here. He came back a half hour later.
The shadow scales are all but forgotten.
Amityville horror felt to me like watching a horror movie.
From another time.
Jump scares would be like 3, 2, 1 called it. The original Amityville horror, I don't feel was paced like a formulaic horror movie. But maybe I need to see it again through that filter. The original Amityville horror movie, to me, did not seem like it was a jump scare there were a few moments of jump scare in it, but it was not a jump scare based storytelling. At least how I remember it. It's been many years since I've seen it. The thing about gravity is it happens whether you believe it or not. That's true, Nick. Trust me, I'm skeptical too. I don't believe anything. I have myself not as open as many, so I just feel mild stuff. Well, the fact that you think it's there in the first place means you've made certain conclusions, Foodaware, which lots of people are not willing to make. Like, here's the thing, is no matter, even if I experienced something that was flat out in my face, like, oh, something paranormal, I would not 100% reach the same conclusion about what actually caused that experience to occur. And there could be stuff happening. They call it supernatural for a reason. It's stuff that's beyond our understanding of science. It could be happening. But depending on who you ask, it'll be like, oh, well, that obviously was the spirit of the people that inhabited this land one. Oh, no. And someone else will say, oh, that is a negative, that was a spiritual impression that was made by an event that happened here, but not a sentient, you know, there's all sorts of people can come out of the woodwork and be like, here is exactly what it is that you just experienced. And like I heard you before talking about, there's energies. Well, that's a more, I guess, neutral way of saying it, but does that mean that that was a spirit of a person that is manifested in energy, or is it just energy impressions, that echoes of beings that used to be or events that happened. Anyways, let's suffice to say that anytime something unexplained happens, there are people who come out of the woodworks to say what it is, according to the filter of what they believe. So if you come up with a super religious person, they might, and depending on how their religion works, they're immediately going to say, oh, that was all Satan.
Go.
That was all the deceiver.
Contract.
All that stuff that you saw? No, it wasn't a ghost, it wasn't that. It was all Satan. It was Satan using illusions to trick you. Garriman is wandering dark growth of the cave while Astrid makes him stir fry. That's sort of what's going on now. Now all I'm doing is walking around in circles here. I'm afraid to go outside because I feel like the sun's going to make me burn. I just realized you're running laps inside a cave. It's actually... Yeah, the face cam, there's a little bit of lag on it, but, you know, it's a pretty good resolution. Yeah, all I've been doing is running like this. Is running like this for like the last 20 minutes. Circle, circle, circle. Sometimes I go down here and then back up here, but basically this is my stream. This has been my stream for the last half hour. Wasn't there like 2 Amityville movies? There's actually, I believe, 6 altogether that have been made. The first 3 were maybe meant to be sequel type materials. There was there have been reboots. There was one that was Amityville 3D, which apparently was real shit. I only watched the first one, and there was Amityville 2 that I watched back when it came out. I don't think I've watched any other Amityville movies, but you know, it's a little bit of a cash cow. There were 3 other people with you at that house, including your realtor, and she felt too, so something was going on there. Yeah, well, there, you know, I'm not saying nothing was going on there, but there are a lot of reasons why people will feel things intuitively.
Does your wickedness or your
sometimes, like art, you can look at a piece of art, and it can make you feel a certain way, and places can be the same way. And then, when it comes to like spooky stuff, people are very susceptible to the power of suggestion. It's like if people who are scared of the dark is not because there's something spooky or there are monsters in the dark or anything like that. It's because people are very susceptible to like getting spooked. So if you're in a place, that's like Fruiterware, this used to happen to us. We would be having a totally normal night, but then we start talking about spooky ghost shit, and then we both ended up being scared and feeling like there were ghosts around us. The mind is susceptible to things. So again, I'm not saying there wasn't an energy there.
Go.
I'm just saying that,
take care of the
contract. I'm constantly seeing alternate and more, what do you say, naturalistic explanations for why. If one person's like, oh shit, I feel something spooky, and then someone else, all of a sudden, they're feeling it too because it was suggested to them. Or there's sometimes a place that just by the nature of it is a little weird. Some places are a little weird, and people are like, oh, I feel a little weird in this place. And then once everyone gives it voice, they suddenly are like, oh shit, yeah, it's a weird energy. Let's see, realtor feels trying to keep you by the home. Feels admits that. Well, I mean, the thing is, the realtor very well could have been feeling weird about that place too. Just because of someone, okay, if a super salesman is trying to sell you something, they're not going to admit anything. They'll be like, what do you mean, spooky? But a lot of people, even if they're salesmen, they're still not complete champs, you know?
Contract.
So they'll be like, if there's something about the place they're looking at that they're like, yeah, maybe there is something screwed up in there. Of course, then also they might not want to offend you. They're like, oh shit, here's this person who believes in ghosts. So you're like, I think there might be ghosts in here, and the realtor's like, oh fuck yeah, you're right. You're like, oh, this place smells like cinnamon, doesn't it? Oh, it totally smells like cinnamon. Hey, do you ever feel like that this kind of place or this kitchen would be really good for cooking beef stew? Oh, this kitchen's perfect for beef stew. Yeah, they're rolling with it, man. Could be that too. It's another explanation. School tomorrow and you're not going to be here much longer just because you had a rough day and you want to sleep. Okay, Soul Hydra. Okay, hold on. Do I even have this set up for things? Alright, Soul Hydra suggested he wanted a lullaby. I resisted under the thought that perhaps Soul Hydra understandably just wanted to hear a lullaby because my lullabies are awesome. Sometimes people just like asking me to do things in the stream because they know I will, and it makes the stream things happen. But we're just gonna do this. Go to sleep, Soul Hydra. Go to sleep. Your eyes are getting so heavy. Go to sleep now, go to sleep, and I'll be waiting for you in your dreams. Okay, there we go. There, because I'm seeing chat is flying by like shit right now, and I'm still 5 minutes behind. So you got an abbreviated. I'm probably 40% less soothing because I rushed it in the end. But you got your lullaby. All right, back into catching up with chat. I'm still 5 minutes behind. Once I went to my friend's birthday party, we were at the living room, we saw the door in the kitchen, which is a sliding one, all of a sudden opened up, and we looked at each other like, what the fuck? Okay, so the door opened up by itself? It slid open by itself? Okay. Now see, here's skeptic me is saying somebody was screwing with you and somehow making it look like it was opening by itself, or... And not to offend you, second possibility is you were either seeing shit that wasn't there. Were you guys drinking acid that night? I don't know. Maybe you were. Or maybe if I got to know you in real life, it turns out, oh shit, Princess Unicorn is one of those people who just makes up stories. I don't know. But see, those are three explanations for why maybe upon investigation that might not have played out the way you just said it did. And I'm not saying you just made it up. I'm just saying when examining something critically, realistically, it's more likely someone, for example, has made up a story than it is if they're telling you something that sounds impossible. I don't get affected by most of this kind of strong mind. Always checking out yourself. It's true. Right? There's a bed somewhere. All right. Loud lullaby. It was a quick lullaby because
take care of the
because I'm doing a bad job keeping up on my stream
there will be
tonight.
Plenty more, I promise you.
Hold on a sec. Speaking of which, I just realized I lost something here. All right. So that was probably the worst lullaby I've ever done, but I got it. But I felt like I needed to wrap it up because all of a sudden I saw a bunch of huge texty comments rolling by on my other screen. You can't listen to anyone else. You got to experience for yourself. Come up with your own conclusion. Well, see, I still listen. I still listen to other people. And it all goes into a file. It all goes into like my little filing of people that have expressed, who have said that they've experienced certain things. Now, whether those things are, you know, are in fact what they think they are, because people do a lot of especially with supernatural stuff. Like I said, people do a lot of interpretations. They believe, they come to believe certain systems of supernatural, like how this works. Almost like they'll have a science overlaid of how supernatural works. So whenever they see or experience things, they will overlay what it is in their head, how they think the supernatural world works, and interpret those events or feelings within the framework of how they believe the supernatural works. But that's my point, is people are constantly, consciously or not consciously, they are constantly rewriting and interpreting what they are experiencing. And this even happens in a non-supernatural setting. Anything that happens to you when you remember, like how, like you got in a fight with somebody, or you know, whatever it is, even a sporting match or whatever else, if going just on your memory alone, you will file things away in ways that will be different from that way that other people will file them away, based on perception and expectation, and various other things. Anyways, Snarly Charlie, caw! This is the house that has little tombstones on the side. Yeah. Now that house definitely sounded weird, Fudarir. Which is another reason for me to think that, like a piece of art, like you can do a painting that looks spooky. For example, this place that I'm in right now is, without me telling you anything at all, you can look at it and be like, oh, well, this is kind of a grim setting. And it's because the artists who designed this location thought if we're going to do an Assassin's Guild, it's going to be grim looking. and we wanted to convey certain feelings. So, you know, I think that there are places that, in much the same way as a song or a poem or anything else, can convey feelings and sensations. Like some of my most powerful moments in my life have been accompanied with hearing a certain song at a certain time that hit me in a certain way, for example. And it's
take care of the Muiri contract.
It's because that's as people, we are feeling creatures. We have lots of associations that happen to us in reaction to things. And I can't even explain exactly why music, like a certain melodies or certain harmonizations hit us in certain ways that make us, that either sound hopeful and wonderful or they seem terrible and moody and dark. And you know, you guys have an open invitation to come here every night. We do have to go to that house, but there are other places. Does your lady approve of you going back to that house? Because you were. Here's one thing, and that's again, that house sounded like that thing screwed you up pretty bad. Like where it was kind of like a problem. You almost scared of it. Like you were afraid you drive up there and like lose your mind or some shit. So I don't want to push that house too hard, man. Future G-Law, I suppose. Okay. Hello, past G-Law. Yeah, I'm trying really hard, but I'm right now. Food Brother Feely Contreras came in. He said, "Food Brother, how are you? I'm at work. I'm doing fine. Food Brother Feely Contreras. Just I don't have work today, so I'm streaming." That is in my real life, real time thing, where I am in the chat now. Where the chat is on my screen. However, where I am in the chat is around where Noxire said, more like 10 minutes behind. And then Charlie came in. Nick said, "Hey, Charlie." And then I saw Foodreer's thing about the open invitation. I see there was a user by the name of Jimmy Face who had a message that got deleted. I don't know what happened, but it's gone. And then Princess Unicorn says, "Well, we weren't drinking that night, and I also detected it was the wind that opened it." Either way, I tried not to think it. Wait, a sliding glass door was opened by wind? Maybe the screen door, but a sliding glass door is usually a little bit too heavy. Unless it was like Wizard of Oz level tornado winds. Oh. But I've had a few things happen like that too around me where I'm like, I'm not sure exactly what just happened. Can't really explain it. Like one time my light turned off in my room. And I don't know why. And I went, the light switch was down. But at the time I was a kid and I had a bunk bed that was up against near the light switch. So I could have fidgeted a certain way that made it, but it never happened before, it never happened again. It was just weird. So when I look back, I think probably somehow I don't know, I had a violent fart or something and I jerked and the bed post hit the light switch and turned off. That's probably what happened. But
more, I promise you.
I filed that away in my memory as I was just sitting on my bed reading a book and the lights turned out for no reason and I got scared. Looking back, no, just makes me laugh. A random, well, yeah, especially when it's something that like scares everybody. It's like, holy shit, what just, when something happens and everyone's like, what the hell just happened? That'll make an impression no matter what's caused. But Slobby telling you one thing, it's a solid person. The only weak holiday is another thing. Well, here's the thing, it's and I'm not saying that I don't trust you, like that I think you're dumb.
Take
but
care
there are
of
people.
The Muiri contract. There will be plenty more.
And it's the way the world works. For example, people of different religions that believe very strongly in very different religions. They can't all be true. Contrary religions that will interpret the world according to their religion. So it's like, oh, when that happens, oh, it's like that's the spirit, the trickster crow. It's made, you know, it's like whatever. They'll be like, and they're not. It's not because they're not dumb, or they're not liars or untrustworthy. It's just they have a framework of when they hear, and when there's something unexplained happens, they have a framework that they will fit that into, and they will make conclusions on what that was. And so that's what I'm saying, Foodie Road with you. Not that you're thinking it was trickster spirit or whatever, but you obviously have developed over the years a certain framework that when you see unexplained things, you explain them in a certain way. or when you have certain feelings or certain reactions to places. Like I said, I was looking at the art of this place. Conveys certain feelings, and if you go to a real world place that makes you feel a certain way, especially if it makes you feel unsettled. There's some people that would say that there's a spiritual energy causing that to happen.
What can I say?
Let me see.
Just like you heard.
It's Madman from Space. Hello, I have an important message from our allies on Kepler 3. Oh my god. Madman from Space is another streamer. And if he's got a message, what is it? Let's see, so what's going on? What's he doing in the game? I've been running around in circles for about an hour. And falling behind in chat. So that's what's been going on. Your light turned off because you need a new bulb, man. No! When the light turned off for the rear, I was sitting in bed, and it was literally like the switch went down. When I pulled the switch up, the light turned on. The switch had physically turned the light off. But I was not consciously aware of a physical source that would have caused the switch to go down. Except for the fact that I had a bedpost that was right up near the switch. And maybe if I bumped it in the right way, it made bed shake,
there will be
make the switch go down.
I promise you.
I still couldn't tell you exactly how that would have happened. Because, even if anything, I wouldn't think if the bed post moved up against it, it wouldn't have caused the switch to go down. It just would have pushed against the switch, and that's the end of it. So it's one of those instances that happened. There's a certain physical explanation that I can point at as being like, well, that's probably what happened, but I still can't really explain why my bed moving would have caused it to move in that way. And I don't even remember moving. Caused that to happen. Anyways, not everything is ghost related. See, the stream you have reached is no longer in service. Yes, yeah, that's sort of how it... The theme of this stream is G-Law is 5 to 10 minutes behind chat, and is therefore running in circles inside the brotherhood of whatever the killer dudes are. I've just been running in circles as I read chat and try to catch up. Music D3V1 Fuke Ro tag. I don't know what that means. Is that a shout? A dragon shout? Fus Ro Ta. I'm guessing that is game related and not just spam. I got mods. So do I. I need to update them because SKSE 64 is out, and from all accounts it's working. I didn't want to mess with it, but I have a list on my mod list in my channel description, including look at this handsome devil. Yeah? Let me turn this off and get in some natural light. Let's get in some natural light here. You can't normally make a wood elf look this handsome without mods, because the default wood elves, their ranges are a little bit weird. But I have the handsome mod, so now he looks badass. Have you played Skyrim before? Yeah, I've got about 500 hours into it. As in fact, one of the reasons I stream Skyrim is because I have thoroughly played it years before I ever started my channel. And the way that I stream gets along better when I'm playing games that I don't have to think too much about, that do not require too much focus or attention on my part. This stream today it's been a little worse than usual because I've been extra chatty. Because when I get more into games,
take care
that's
of
what
the
I got this for.
45 seconds of gameplay.
That's the official warning that I'm going to stop paying. That's what I play when I want people to know I'm going to stop paying attention to chat, because I'm going to focus, at least for 45 seconds at a time, into what's happening in my game. But that has not been happening at all during this stream. You got a framework too, man. Yeah, everyone... No, I'm not denying that I've got a framework, Booterware. Everyone does. My framework is a skeptical one, and it's based on what I view as likelihoods. What I view as likelihoods and verifiable empirical evidence. So, yeah. But it's... And so I reinterpret things, and I tend to reinterpret things into a series of possibilities, rather than if it's something unexplainable. My framework is I don't say, bam, it's this. I say what I think it's more likely, like with the bed thing, the light turning off. Probably somehow my bed moved and made that light switch turn.
Come now, what everyone else is saying.
It didn't seem possible. It never happened before, never happened again. So another explanation is,
But to be outnumbered 20
it was something unexplained. It was, and some would say, oh, it was God wanted to make your light turn off because he was afraid you were gonna read too much, you know, or it was the devil because devil want you. Maybe I don't remember what I was doing. Maybe I was reading the Bible. And devil's like, I don't want you to read the Bible, so I'm gonna make your light turn off. Another person would say, oh, it was an old Indian village that your house was built on, and there was an instance that's reenacting himself where the old chief was in a bad mood. He made everyone turn all their torches off or something. But the thing is you could find some people would be like, boom, it's the chief. That's what happened. It was the chief. And end of story. They're done. They're done. The inquiry is over. But my framework is more like, here's these various layers of possibilities, among which I feel that my bed bumping the light post is the most likely candidate.
More, I promise.
And that's sort of where I leave it. Is that exactly what happened for sure? I don't know. I say probably. But could something supernatural turn my light off? Because that's the first thing I thought of when it happened. Some ghost, something screwy happened. Because that's something impossible just happened. How the hell did that light switch physically get turned down? Like a light bulb burn out is one thing, but it wasn't that. Anyways. You only believe in things that you've seen myself, which really isn't much in the grand scheme of things. Well, you believe in the things that you see, absolutely. But how do you interpret those things? Because there's many levels of experience. So there are the things that you see, and if it's something, say, supernatural, then what explanation do you apply to what you experience? So, for instance, you go into a house, it's spooky looking, and you're like, oh shit, you feel all spooked out. Like,
take care of the movie.
Almost obsessively spooked out. And then that's, for some people, that's what they experience, and that's the end of it. But then other people are like, oh, well, there's places in the world that have negative spirit and positive spirit energy, and the spirits will interact with you. You know, there's like a whole other layer that you can put onto that. And that's what I'm saying is it's what the layers of interpretation that people apply to their experiences. That's where we end up with, you have 10 different people experience the same thing, and they come up with 10 different explanations for what it was. They may have experienced the exact same thing. And they may believe 100% that however they've interpreted that experience, they think on 100% that's what it is. Yeah? By framework. What I mean, and I was talking about this before, is, for example, I know people who are very religious, and they will take anything that happens that may not be an explanation or may seem like coincidences or whatever, they will take as, this is a sign from God, or it's something from the devil.
Of justice!
Nerd Killer has become a Lawhawk. Ah, thank you for your subscription. It is very much appreciated. Nerd Killer, welcome to the Lawhawk family. You have to get off your phone, switching to your smart TV to watch the stream. You want to watch this running around in circles in this thing and a big high definition television. But yeah, so that's what I mean by framework is, say for example, like my friend Fuduru has talked a lot about this house he went to, and he told me more in detail, like when we talked over the phone and stuff about this house, and it sounds spooky as shit. But so he has a certain thing about like, oh, there's like spirit energy in different places that cause you to experience certain feelings and certain, you know, based on, who knows, something maybe happened in that house that was bad, or the spirits or whatever else. If you have a really religious person and they see a cloud that's shaped like a frog, they'll be like, oh, I think frog's supposed to be good luck. So God's telling me today's a good day because that cloud's shaped like a frog. Or another person looks at a cloud and they're like, well, clouds make weird shapes. It's just random and it happens. Sometimes you see a shape and you sign.
Take care of the movie.
You're like, oh, that looks kind of like a frog.
There will be plenty more, I promise you.
But it's based on the framework you bring to it. Will define how you explain what you just saw. A lot of people see the frog-shaped cloud, and they might go, oh, that looks kind of like a frog. And then they think no more about it, and they go about their day. someone else would see it and coming to it from a super religious framework and say, or maybe someone looks at it and it's like, oh, the frog, I think it's a frog demon, because I always think there's like, the devil's after me. There's devil demons everywhere trying to get me. And watch out, the omen of the devil frog demon is watching, you know, whatever. But they're filtering it through, they look at the world in a certain way, and with the things that they see and experience in the world, they apply that filter to explain it, to interpret what's happening around. How old is the Switch itself? I think I'm missing this one. What is that? The Switch. I'm more similar to your thinking. I've just seen a little more. Well, see, that's the thing too. Yeah, if I'd seen more, I might have started.
Plenty more.
I might, you know. My experiences are somewhat limited in terms of, like, probably the most weirdest things I ever experienced had to do with Ouija board girl and some of the things that Ouija board said. That I was like, I still look back on today and think, I don't know how those people, my hand was not on that board, I don't know how those people would have come up with those answers. That some of them were kind of general, and I was like, okay, whatever, like I can see, like how many girlfriends have I had, and they'd be like, oh, 4, and I was like, well, it turns out I have had 4, you know, my whole life at that point. But so it's like, it's a little weird that they got that, but it's like they could have just guessed and that's what happened. But when I asked, they says the ghost board, and the board says it knows my grandmother's name, and I'm like, oh yeah, what is it? And it spells out my grandmother's name, and I'm not touching it, and those people have no way of knowing that was my grandmother's name. That's where I'm like, you know, I go, oh shit, maybe there's something to this. That's not just the subconscious mind, the subconscious impulse of someone on the board.
Go.
Pushing it in a certain way.
Take care of the Muiri contract. There will be plenty more, I promise you.
Did Too Good For You just promote another channel, Maxie? Alright. Hey, if that's what happened, I'm gonna say this now. Stop promoting other channels on my stream. Alright? They're gonna flat out say it. Stop promoting other channels on my stream. Because, you know, we roll with it a little bit. You start getting deleted, and if that keeps happening, you're gonna get timed out. And it keeps happening, yeah. And that whole fan ham happen. That's what happens. That's progression. Alright. Lights went off because G-Law farted so hard. Yeah, that's what. Well, I was saying earlier, maybe I had such a violent fart that it shook my bed. My bed actually hopped up, and then as it bounced down and slammed against the light switch, turned off. And then for whatever reason, I'm so desensitized at that point in my life to whatever these violent farts that I was having that I didn't even notice it.
Take care of the Muiri contract.
Who knows? Maybe that's what happened.
There will be plenty more, I promise you.
You come to things without a blank slate, but you may have added a framework later. Well, we all, like, even the thing about, like, ghosts and how ghosts work and why ghosts are in a place and what ghosts are, like if they're spirits of people left behind. That in itself, what I just described, even though it wasn't very well fleshed out, is based on a framework of what ghosts are. And, like, people say, oh, well, ghosts happen if someone had a traumatic death. It's like, there's a framework for you right there. So you see something you can't explain, and you think, oh, I heard there was a guy in this house that, like, was murdered once, so maybe that's him. So you start putting things together, and you start applying an interpretation based on, you know, like a framework based on different things you know about a location, and based on what you just saw there, or heard there, experienced there. Now, 10 minutes behind on stream chat again. You are dedicated. And here's the thing. Prince Inigo needs food. When you see it more in general, it'll open your world. Not just saying spiritual, just in general. There is something to it. This is too good for you, apples? No, I don't think so. It's see, the whole apples thing is someone coming in much more with a much more dedicated, but not gonna waste a whole lot of time, kind of like, I'm gonna get under this person's skin now. That's how apples rolls. That's an apple-esque thing to do. Someone that comes in kind of making normal conversation, but occasionally plugging other channels. It's just a thing that a lot of kids do. It's just, yeah, it's a not uncommon. But see, I am applying a framework of my experience with other kids in streams that like to go in channels and try to tell other people to go sub to their friend's stream. So I had that experience, so that when I see someone else doing it, I apply that framework and conclude, oh, this is one of those kids that likes going to other people's streams and trying to promote their friends' channels.
Looking like a child.
And it could be completely true, but I do have to make some sort of a leap. I don't know everything about that kid, or I don't know, he could be a 50-year-old dude. He's like, he's an accountant, and he's just, you know, he's taking a break, and he's looking around, and just suddenly decided he was going to look in a Skyrim stream and tell someone about someone else's stream. I don't know. But my experiences lead me to develop a certain framework that lead me to conclude probably, you know, someone in the 12-year-old range that's hanging out on the stream, wants has another friend who's 12 years old, trying
Take care
to
of the
build a YouTube
movie
channel,
contract.
and he wants to help his friend
Plenty
out.
more, I promise you.
Food. Well, we haven't seen oranges yet. Oranges has only been a threatened. Oranges has only been a threatened entity that we have, that certain members of the chat have been warned may emerge at a certain point. If you thought apples was bad, oranges is going to take things to the next level. You still remember when a light switch turned off 30 years ago? You gotta get out more, see this house. Well, I remember it because it was one of a handful of experiences that I had in my life that were weird enough and unexplainable enough that when it happened, I was like, what the hell just happened? I don't have many things that have happened in my life that have been that, like, in your face, struck me as something impossible just happened. Let's see. Speaking of ghosts, I would want to be a ghost. Being a ghost would be just like being in a live stream chat. Well, see, now you're applying that's a framework too. I don't know if that's what being a ghost would be like, but maybe it is. Who knows? And this tone's like, you're already creepy. Be really careful. Yeah. What? I might anger the spirits you're talking about. Well, see, I don't think I do have those anymore. And I don't even think I ever did. But the thing is, if someone does stuff, sometimes they filter out. It's like, my wife sometimes alleges that I snore. She's staying out of my business. On occasion, you have alleged that I snore. But when I'm sleeping, I've learned to not hear it. So I maintain that she just likes violently waking me up in the middle of the night and being mean to me.
There will be plenty more, I promise you.
So, because I've never heard this. I've never heard this snoring that allegedly occurs when I'm asleep. So, but she says I snore really loud sometimes. Sometimes it's euphemistic. Ew, that's pretty much any time I fall asleep. At a certain point, apparently, if I'm just laying the wrong way, or even sometimes laying the right way, I'll snore loud. But I've never heard it. So, there are other explanations. It could be she just likes waking me up from a deep sleep. Yeah, I say sometimes, because sometimes I sleep really easily, and she has a hard time sleeping, so she just gets jealous. So she made up this whole snoring business as a ruse. So she's like, well, if I'm going to be awake and unhappy about it, then he's got to be awake. So I'm going to make up the story about snoring. And then I'm going to tell him that I tried waking him up gently for a few minutes, and it didn't work. So then I had to get loud and shake him. But, anyways, who knows? Who knows? Oh, well, I'm sure if she was determined, she could probably. I'm sort of joking about not believing her. I'm pretty sure I snore, and I'm pretty sure she's on the level. She doesn't need to actually record me. But I like toying with the idea that this is all an elaborate ruse.
Because your entire family backed me up.
Yeah.
Well, your house had separate wings.
Yeah.
You had to sleep in a different one.
Yeah, well, there was apparently, you know, my family, they like getting in on a good joke too. So maybe they all team together and they're like, when we have like a family overnight sleepovers at a couple people in my family have big houses, and we'll do like family get-togethers where a lot of us will stay over, and they put me separated and far away from everyone else because they say that I snore. It could just all be getting behind my wife's little joke, you know? Because they think it's funny. Your lady asked you to invite you and your wife up here and take your mind off things. I would like to get up there. At some point, we need to make a point of getting up there. At this point, it is simply a matter of logistics. That getting up there would be more of like a time and expense thing that we can't deal with. Because I would probably, if we went up to visit, I probably want to do more than show up like late Friday night, like show up for 2 days or something. Probably want to make it like a few days, but yeah, it's frequently. Anyways, I appreciate the invitation, Mr. Booterare. The practical matters may prevent a visit from happening right now, but we need to keep that in mind to visit you as a thing to do. So, because like we visit my friend in San Diego every, 3 or 4 months, but the thing is, for us to get down there, my wife's Metrolink pass she uses to get to work, on the weekends we can get down to San Diego for free. And on the weekends, it only costs $10 to go anywhere on the Metrolink system. So the cost, a round trip cost to San Diego for us from where we are, is $20. But if we go, like when we go to Palm Springs, we go for a weekend, we got to rent a car for 3 days. And that costs a lot more than $20.
Go. Take care of the Muiri
So that's one reason we've done that a bunch of times.
More, I promise you.
Recently, to visit my dad, and that's one of those reasons why all of a sudden now it's like, oh shit, this time of year's been kind of pricey, because we have expenditures during the holidays we don't normally have. Let's see. Go check out some cool historical things like old gold mines and picnic. Yeah, if we get up there, I'd definitely like to spend more than like a Saturday and a Sunday. We wanted to make a few days out of it. Do it, then he might at some point do it. What's happening? Who's requesting me to do? Oh, live stream, go to Foodwares and live stream it? My wife in the background just was like, oh geez. He's like, one hell of a vlog. Here, if Foodware says he's cool with it, we could,
Where's his lady?
Yeah, we gotta make sure that his lady's cool with it. We can do. Let's see. Time to calm down, no more. Did he advertise again? For some reason, I can't look at what the messages that were deleted are. But I'm starting to feel like Too Good For You might be wearing out its welcome. Well, I don't know if he's doing it intentionally or not. Maybe he just leaves. He does something obnoxious, and he leaves, and when everyone tells him not to do it anymore, he's not here. And then he comes back completely oblivious to the fact that he'd done something that everyone told him not to do. And he comes back and does it again. Who knows? This is third time out. Oh, is that what keeps happening? Alright, well, I guess if he does it again, if he comes in again being weird. I don't know. He doesn't seem overly malicious, but if he's a constant problem, and he's been warned a bunch of times, and he's not sinking in, there's banhammers. That's what banhammer's for. The G-Law House Project. Be one hell of a vlog for sure. Okay, I get 1 million views. I'm not sure about that, but you never know. Okay, here's the deal. My wife has brought me food. It's been sitting, slowly getting cold, and I'm gonna eat it. And I'm gonna not eat it on stream. So I'm gonna end my stream, but I might come back later. So it's gonna be a soft, instead of a hard end, like, it's gonna be a soft end. I'm gonna throw up my thank you screen And I'm just gonna say, hey, everyone, thank you for hanging out. And we talked about frameworks and ghosts and banning people and food. We talked a lot about spiritual interpretations today, which is a topic that is right on the verge of religious debate stuff. But I feel like we kept it cool. We didn't let it stray into anything too controversial. But yeah, I'm gonna stop and eat, hang out with my wife for a while, and then maybe I'll come back on and quote unquote play some more Skyrim on stream. When will I come back? The only time that I'm scheduled to come back is Thursday night at 8 p.m. So if I come back tonight, maybe it'll be 8. I don't know. It'll be basically, it'll just be exactly like the stream was. It'll be sort of like if I feel like doing it after I've eaten and talked to my wife and hung out for a while, I'll come back. Or maybe it turns out, you know, the only time I'm committing to is coming back tomorrow. But I have a feeling if I come back, it might be like in an hour and a half or 2 hours. So, or I could eat, and maybe my wife's tired. She goes straight to bed, and I come back in 45 minutes. I don't know. You never know. I'm gonna keep you on your toes, guys. You gotta be ready. It'll be a treat, you know. Like, oh, you never know when G-Law's gonna show up. So you have to jump on the opportunity when it comes. It can't be a routine, predictable thing. You know, it's gotta be exciting. Chocolate and desserts next time instead of ghosts. Yeah, there we go. No, instead of ghosts and Ouija boards, we're gonna talk about like chocolate and ice cream. And yeah, that's what all started. We started talking about that Japanese forest. Started talking about all the weird stuff. 45 minutes of eating.
45 seconds of gameplay.
That was probably too loud. Okay. All right, guys. So thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you, if not a little bit later tonight, then tomorrow, as per the usual. And see you later. We're not even gonna raid. It's a soft exit because I'm damn hungry. And I don't want to go. If I raid, it won't be like. It'll be still another 15 minutes before I end up eating. I just know the way it is. All right, guys. See you later. Bye bye. Love you. Kisses. You want to say anything?
Love you. Bye bye.
My wife loves you and says goodbye as well. Bye, everyone.